to another exciting session of the Winds of Waydora, aka the Wenches of Waydora, as you guys have so lovely renamed it. We are on episode 3 of season 3 already. A lot has happened. There's been a lot of separation of you clowns. Hopefully you'll be able to find your way back to each other. But let's start things off with a recap. So last week, you guys, Solara decided to spend the night in the cave before setting out for Wind's Peak in the morning. During the night, Solara awoke to the sound of someone calling her name. She investigated the cave to find that the voice belonged to Calliope, weirdly, and was coming from a small puddle of water in the cave. Calliope was communing with Solara in her dreamlike state through a book titled Chalices of Spirit Revelation. The book was found in the infinite library that she found herself in, and the book gave information on how to detect different spirits. It then led to a page... Frozen. Oh, did we freeze? Are we back?
You guys are back.
I just smacked my cheeks a bunch of times in frustration. Okay, the book was found in the infinite library that Calliope found herself in, and it gave information on how to detect different spirits. It then, as she was flipping through the pages, it then led to a page that seemed to be a window looking into Solara's environment. The two exchanged information about their current situations before the same mysterious tiefling suddenly appeared over Calliope's shoulder, and they vanished from the puddle. And Solara was like, okay, back to bed. Meanwhile, Valdric convinces Pimble to drink with her, and he has a bit of deep wine. Valdric then communes with the Sazfather, and he tells her she must still complete her quest of converting Pimble and Diamor. She then convinced Pimble to become a follower of the Sazfather, and he eventually passed out in his drunken state. Anya and Valdric then spent the night in the wagon while Diamor kept watch outside their wagon. Back at the cave, morning came and Vengeance, calls himself Vengeance, and Solara discussed how to go about visiting Wind's Peak. If you remember, Wind's Peak is Solara's hometown. Vengeance shared with her their connection and destiny. He said that she must become a Doom Guide and continue to feed him souls for him to torment and consume in the 9 hells. The two then traveled about a mile
Kinda
down.
Cool. The more I thought about it, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, give you a little week to digest that information.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I was like, that's awesome.
So Amber likes it. We'll see how Solara feels about it. But Vengeance shared their okay, here we consuming the 9 hells. Then the two traveled about a mile down the mountain into Solara's hometown and first stopped at the Temple of Kalimvor, a place Solara grew up around a lot and spent a lot of time at. So there they found Father Zathir, which was Solara's kind of mentor, father-like figure back in the day. He had returned and is once again the priest of the temple. He was preparing for the funeral of Solara's father, Alistair. She made it clear that she would not be staying for the funeral and just needed information about the chalices that Calliope was seeing, as well as a cure for Vengeance's wing. If you remember, it got sliced almost in half by the vorpal blade of his brother, which we'll get to in a second. But Father Zathir provided a periapt of wound closure, which mended the wing back together, and then also gave Solara 5 flasks of holy water, as well as a magical chalice that may help her in her adventuring. Solara says her goodbyes, and the two of them disguise themselves before acquiring some supplies in town, because she didn't really want to be seen, especially on the day of her father's funeral. Just kind of wanted to maintain the low-key vibes. In the morning, back at Phantasma, the party awakens and drinks a bit more wine, before Valdric asks if she can have a moment alone with Diamor in the wagon. Valdric then brings up the conversation they had been dodging for the past day. Why Diamor abandoned her and the circus all those years ago. Diamor explains that his father is a general in the 9 hells and ripped him from the circus back to the 9 hells to fight in an ongoing war between the devils and the demons, which, if you remember, Diamor is a demon. He claimed he had no choice and was hiding in the circus from his father to avoid this. He begs Valdric to understand, and Valdric uses this opportunity to persuade him to become a follower of the Sazfather. He agrees, and just then Calliope's lifeless body sits straight up behind them and gasps for air as her soul is transferred back from the magical embryo to Calliope once again. Baldric calls everyone inside the wagon, and they rejoice in the return of their friend, thus kind of putting on pause that conversation that she was having with her former lover. Anya was burying Nox, speaking of former lovers, Anya was burying Nox in the woods, and the party then goes back to the woods. Sorry, Charlotte, I had to look for this mysterious tiefling that they now know as Tivit, after Calliope and Valdric share some information with each other. They investigated the woods where Calliope met Tivit, but they did not find him, and instead were found by a different tiefling they had met before, Tommy Two Tails. He claims they have a problem with one of the attractions at Phantasma Hollow, the Mirror Maze. He says it is haunted by a spirit and tasks the party to try and figure out what type of spirit is haunting the maze. And that is where we pick up. So a lot of things going on. We got Solara and Cabris, which I think you guys have said his name out loud once, and some psychic damage happened. So there's that to consider. Yeah, you were trying to come up with some nicknames that would hopefully bypass the whatever curse, whatever's going on there, just the power of that demon force, because he also is a demon, brothered to Diamor. But anyways, they're kind of in Solara's hometown, low-key. Then we got the rest of the party. Calliope's finally alive again, because Valdric finished her quest, and last week I definitely did not hand out XP, but you definitely deserve it, Isabeau. So Valdric, you gain, this was a big, long quest that started probably around, it was like almost the beginning of season 2, because we had just picked up Amber, and there was a battle. Amber got one-tapped by this...
Mina.
Did I say Amber? Mina.
Yeah.
Mina got one-tapped by this giant Periton sort of monster-like, bird-like creature. One-tapped her, because she was obviously... super low level compared to the rest of them, and that's just the way it went. And so Valdric made this like plea to her deity, last ditched effort, and it came with a price. Valdric has now finally paid that price, so give yourself 3,000 XP, Valdric, for the completion of this quest. The rest of you helped her with her quest, so I will grant the rest of you 500 each. So that's 3,000 of Valdric, 500 to Calliope, Anya, and Solara.
I was like, I died a little. Twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she poor Calliope was just the collateral on all that. But you got some experience out of it, as well as a cool little bond tattoo on your forearm. And there's another matching tattoo, basically unsolicited matching tattoos with your buddy Valdric, who has one down her spine. It is the emblem. It is the emblem of the Sazfather. You guys can basically commune with each other while drinking, and speak to each other telepathically. Even when you're not drinking, you can kind of feel each other's feelings and emotions. It's just the more you drink, the stronger it gets, because that is how the Sazfather works. He works in bubbles and in mysterious ways. He's also very chaotic, which is why I have this dice. It's a chance cube. It has 2 different colors on it, red, blue. Sometimes when they're messing with the deity, I roll a dice, and whatever color that is, that's...
See what happens.
That's how he goes, and boom, here we are.
What's the Star Wars and look for him,
Yes.
Are you... What mic are you using, Calliope? Because it's coming through a little quiet.
My headphones.
Okay. That sounded a little bit clearer. Random question. Charlotte, you have in your factions, you've written down that you're part of the bounty hunters of Jagmeister, right? Did I give you a number of like renown that you should have with them?
No.
Okay.
But I have used it before in my dealings.
Yes, you have. I wanted to kind of touch a little bit on renown. Basically, there's factions that are around the D&D world, which I mean, some of you probably know just from watching the D&D movie, the Harpers, the Zentarum, Lord's Alliance. You know, there's like the 5 main factions in D&D, but I also have like homebrew factions such as the Bounty Hunters of Jagmeister. Basically, the system's going to work the same in that you gain renown with them by doing stuff for them, quests and stuff like that. And the renown ranks from 1 to 50. And there's different tiers of like renown that you can get. So, for instance, we'll say I kind of just made some stuff up for the Bounty Hunters of Jagmeister. If you have 1 to 4 renown with them, you are known as a hunter, or the Polish word for hunter is mysliwi. If you want to write that down, Charlotte, Mysliwi.
I only have 1 to 4 in my dad's guild.
I'm not. I have not told you you're.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying.
Okay. Sorry.
And then
you said
Mysliwi. Yes. That is the Polish word for hunter. So if you are...
Wow, we didn't know the W is pronounced like a V. Or did you listen to it?
Poland is pretty close to Germany, and that's how it is in German. Okay. So I did deductive reasoning in my brain. So, because I am a well-versed world traveler, even though I've never been to Europe. Okay.
Worldly.
But yeah, so the ranks are going to go from like... 1, like I said, there's 5 tiers. It starts at renown 1, then 5, then 10, then 25, then 50. Each one gets you a promotion. So I'm going to say Anya, you know, Jagmeister, part of your background, you killed that night hag that was so elusive. So I put you at renown 7, Anya, which puts you at the 2nd tier, which is known as a stalker. You are a stalker. You have earned stalker status. And I can tell you the rest because you would probably know, being that your Anya's father, Ure, is the bounty hunter guildmaster. At rank 10, you are known as a Screech Wing, which is a type of terrible monster that benefits from hunting their prey. So it's kind of in the bounty hunter realm. And then cool. Yeah, Screechwing. You definitely want to be a Screechwing, Charlotte. And then 25 gets you a Venator. And then 50, which is probably Ure, I would assume, because he's the guildmaster, is a... I can see if I can pronounce this correctly. Kozmar. It's another Polish word that means nightmare. You will be a nightmare if you are renowned 50. That is like world renowned. Like, you are the bounty hunter of Waydora. People know you. You are the Boba Fett of Waydora. Kozmar. Kozmar. Maybe it's Coach. Is that how you pronounce it? You're Polish.
I don't know.
Come on.
I know some pronunciations. I'll look it up.
We'll get her there.
Yeah. And while I'm in that vein, Amber, during your time as, Solara's studies at becoming a Doom Guide, you know that a lot of Doom Guides join a faction, and that faction is known as the Knights of the Eternal Order.
Okay.
You've heard of them. Maybe you've met some before, maybe you haven't. I'll work that in at some point, but you would have at least heard of them. Because it's
the Eternal Order.
Yeah, it seems like every time you talk to Father Zathir, he's always like, so Doom Guide? So you gonna become a Doom Guide? So
he's ready.
Yeah, so just put a couple of those announcements out there. All right, but I've done a lot of talking, so I'm ready to set the scene. We are going to start things in episode 3 with Solara. Now, Solara, you just talked to Father Zathir, some reuniting conversations as well as a little awkward conversations, being that Cabris is there and being that he's a demon inside a temple of Kalimvor. But Father Zathir knows you pretty well, and you know him pretty well. So he trusts you, and you trust him. Basically, it was the morning. You guys got there pretty early. You had to find a cure, so you got the cure. for the wing, the torn wing of Cabris, and there was talks a little bit about this chalice. When Calliope visited you in that mirror sort of puddle conversation you guys had, she was giving you some information of what she was seeing in her dreamlike state, and some of it was kind of, you relayed that information to Father Zathier, and Zathier was like, oh my gosh, I have just the thing. It's called this chalice of spirit revelation. So you have this chalice. He gave you some flasks of holy water. You guys disguised yourselves, got some food supplies in town, and that is where we leave off.
Okay. Yep, because we were disguised. That's
Mhm.
right. Okay. Um. Okay. I'm like trying to remember where we were at. All right. So, I guess I would.
And I know you were talking about, like, because this, you kind of started off this day like, do you know how to get to Phantasmo? And,
Yeah.
and he was like, well, I need to fix my wing first. So he kind of like made a deal with you.
Yeah. Yeah. That's where we're picking up. Okay.
Okay.
We got our stuff. Be like, okay. So, like, your wing is healed. Like, you know, so you know how to get to Phantasmo, right?
I do.
Okay. 'Cause
You've made good on your bargain, on your end of the bargain, so I suppose I must come through.
Of course.
But
Father Xavier, really. But yes.
yes, can we go somewhere a little more inconspicuous, outside of town, somewhere where we won't be seen?
Sure.
All right, and
Or will we go to Phantasmo after that, though?
yes,
Okay. Then I guess. For now.
but I can't just snap my fingers in broad daylight. It would attract too much attention.
I mean, would it?
Yes, the way I do
I
it,
don't
it would.
Sorry.
Yes.
I'm with a very chaotic group of beautiful as Valdrick would say. You know? But okay. Whatever makes you more comfortable, I guess.
Yeah, he puts, you guys are kind of hooded and everything, and keeping that low profile, kind of leads you out of town back towards the cave, but just enough to be like in the woods. And he he pulls out this piece of parchment out from his cloak, from the red velvet pocket is inside his cloak, and he pulls out this parchment and he unrolls it, and just starts kind of looking at it and shows it to you. And you see that it is a map of Waydora, but it's kind of a living map. So think like Marauder's map, but like 3D. Like he rolls it out, and it's like this 3D, almost like it's a 3D sketch. And you know, you can even see like clouds moving as he opens it up. And everything's kind of just white and black, you know, the parchment, and then the black, you know, sketchings, as if someone's drawing it as it's happening in real time. But it's an overview of this entire continent. So you see, you know, north wind, west wind, south wind, east wind, and everything in between. The Jester's Sea, right in the middle. Sorry, we are overcoming a sickness in our house. So, the one thing on this map that you notice that sticks out to you is red X's scattered all over this map. And they definitely don't blend in because everything else, like I said, is in black and white, and then you see these red X's. And they are scattered around. Some of them are on places that you visited or know. Some of them, like, you have no idea. But you see one on North Wind, you see one on East Wind, you see one on Dread Island, you see a couple scattered around Waydora, and then you see one kind of like floating in limbo. It's not really attached to any location, and it's not like up in the sky. It's just like almost like outside of this parchment. It looks strange.
Okay. So, I guess, what are these X's? And what's that one that's just kind of floating? If I could say that's what it is.
These X's are death marks. They are locations that, well, I can't go into detail, but locations basically that me and my brother have been tasked with doing something with. For instance, what I can tell you is that day that you saw me at Dread Island, the day we met, there was a red X, there was a death mark on Kessa. I was tasked by my father to kill Kessa, as you know. Which, obviously, you beat me to it. Because I was met with Kessa's soul for me to torment. But at the time...
Sorry about that.
Well, bittersweet. You did the work for me. And you're much more of a formidable opponent than anyone would have guessed. But... I can't tell you what all of them mean. I don't even know what they all mean. But I know that I have to go to each death mark and see it through. I'm assuming that this floating one here is for Phantasmo Hollow, for your friend, where your friends are at, and where you claim that my brother may be. I know that he is there, because my father has tasked me to visit the Phantasmo and keep eyes on him. He knows that Diamor is there. Diamor
And I
runs.
assume, does he want him dead? Or does he just want him back?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if he wants me to bring him back for him to kill himself. But Diamor thinks our father to be dead. Well, if he believes me, after our fight.
And why did your father want that? Like, why did he want him to think he was dead, but not you?
Element of surprise. Our father no longer views Diamor as a part of our tribe, our clan, our way of life, our battle that we are dealing with ever since he abandoned us and joined that circus. I was inclined to believe him at one point, but now I'm not sure.
Yeah, it seems like he was just trying to do what would make him happy, but I don't know any of that. That's not my business. Anyways, you have another one of those maps, or just that one? just curious.
This is the only one. But
Okay.
these death marks come with the ability to open up one-way portals to get there. And if this is Phantasmo Hollow, then that is the way that we can get there. You held true to your side of the bargain and helped me mend my wing. So I will honor your wish.
Okay.
And we can go. But I must ask, Solara, are there demon hunters that you know of in Winds Peak?
Demon hunters? I mean, not specifically. I do feel like, we're capable of anything as a group. The Wenches, not necessarily you. But, I mean, maybe my friend Anya. I feel like if anyone could hunt a demon, it would definitely be her. With her, though, of course.
Let me be more specific. When I say demon hunters, I don't mean people that simply, for the thrill of it, go out and hunt demons. I've met those people before, and they don't last very long. What I'm talking about are wizards, mages, warlocks, sorcerers who have, from birth, been given the task to hunt demons as a living.
Mm,
Do you know of any of these magic users
I mean,
in Winds Peak?
do I? Would I roll for that?
Um,
Or is that something I should know? Am I just having a moment? Maybe I'm
no,
dumb.
no. You're unclear.
I'm
As
unclear. I don't know.
yeah,
Okay.
well, so roll a history check, and we'll
Okay.
see how
Cool.
we'll see what
I
Solara
got bad
knows.
history. I think I just got +1 for that.
Bad history.
Oh yeah, she's not very smart. Whoa. Yuppers. That's a 9.
Okay. Yeah, you're not really sure of any demon hunters. The closest you know of, like, as he talks about this like magical innate quest from birth, you're like, I don't know anything about that. Like,
Yeah.
you maybe heard like once or twice someone say like, oh, there's a demon like haunting this area, like someone should go kill it or whatever, and but nothing like someone
Okay.
who's
Or actually anyone. Okay.
yeah,
I s-
who's
I
like
still
their
think, I
title.
do fully think Anya could with demon though, like, but that's okay. That's okay. Then yeah, I'm afraid. I really don't. I'm sorry.
Well, let's hope that's a no. The reason I ask is because these portals, these dimension doors that I create, while they do grant me access to go to each of these death marks, they draw unwanted attention. And these demon hunters, these magic users that hunt me as part of their religion, can feel when I use this teleportation. They can feel if they're in the area of me leaving or if they're in the area of me coming to. They can feel. Which is why I ask if there's anyone in Winds Peak.
Oh, well, we're gonna hope not, because like I said, I've not come across any on my ventures, but doesn't mean they're not out there. Like you said,
My only
in our presence alone right now, like, drop them here.
Yeah, my only concern is if there are unknown demon hunters in or near Winds Peak, it might be problematic when you return here. They are relentless.
We will cross that bridge when it comes. It's okay.
Very well. And he rolls up the parchment and starts doing a sort of ritual incantation, starts muttering some words underneath his breath. The area around you becomes thick with a red fog, and a portal opens up as he starts doing some more hand motions and incantations under his breath. And the portal is a black swirling circus that just circle that just appears in the middle of this wooded area that you guys are in. And right over top of it, 2 red lightning bolts cross like an X over top of this portal. And he finishes his incantation, and the leaves around you and the wind is whipping around you. And he says, "Ladies first."
All right. Take a step. If that's walk right in.
Yeah, you go through.
I'm confident. I'm fully trusting this moment.
Yeah, it stings at first going through this X, as it looks like lightning, but you don't feel electrocuted. It's just like this sensation that is on top of the feeling that you are pretty familiar with at this point, teleporting, going through portals from one place to another. You go through this swirling black dimension, through time and space, and you end up getting thrown out the other end and spit out the other end in another wooded area. And out from behind, Cabris also flies out and lands on the woods beside you, much more gracefully than you. And you just, without even having to roll, you just vomit because
Oh, yeah.
it's just another form of quick teleportation that your body is not used to.
Okay.
He pretends like he's not noticing, like he's kind of looking around his surroundings to not embarrass you, but he's also not sure if he should like.
I'm trying to make it seem like I'm just like coughing. I'm like wiping my mouth. And that was crazy.
He says, "I'll give you a minute."
Fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. Let's just go. It's fine.
Switching gears to the rest of the party. You guys are outside of this mirror maze, and Valdrick, you've passed by it plenty of times. I think it's just this big like head, and
I
like
fucking hate this place.
the mouth is like the opening.
I got trapped in there once. When I first got here, I got trapped in there, and everybody, they all made fun of me because, oh, Valdrick can't make it through the maze. You know what? Who's laughing now? Huh? Not me. I don't want to go in there. Valdrick's also, like, holding the piece of paper that Tommy Two Tails gave her last time, the spirit tracker. She's holding it way out from her body, like it's potentially gonna possess her. And, you know, I'm having a real hard time going from birthing evil into the world to busting for ghosts in the horrible mirror maze. I'm just having a weird time with this right now. Hard time processing.
Well, nothing like ghost hunting to cure a hangover. I'll go in first.
I'm gonna hand the spirit tracker to Anya and position myself directly behind her. Charlotte might be in the van, but Anya's in the maze.
And then, Anya, as you begin walking, a hand lands on your shoulder, and you hear the voice of Diamor behind you say, "Wait."
What?
He has like a look, like he's like kind of just off, looking in the distance. Roll an insight check.
Oh, you know what? I forgot my dice. Hang on.
Oh, look out. Gosh.
Okay, it's okay, Mina. Thank you.
I knew I was
Did you put it under places, Chris?
I think it's in places, yeah.
15 plus 3 is 18.
Okay. You're reading his face as you're like, what? And it looks like he's very distant in his eyes. He's like, he's not even paying attention to you anymore. He just wanted to stop you long enough so that he could sense what is going on. It feels like he's sensing something, and you see him kind of going for his sword, going for his Vorpal blade.
Is there someone here?
He's here. Cabris. He's near.
Are we taking damage?
Yeah, do you take damage for that?
I'm scared.
You all take 1d6 of psychic damage, except for
We shouldn't have asked.
Diamor. And as he says Cabris, all of you grab your head and buckle over in pain for a second, and he kind of snaps out of it and looks at you and says, "Sorry, I forgot. Mere mortals."
We'll figure out a nickname for that. You call me a mere mortal one more time, and I'm gonna shove my foot so far up your ass you're gonna taste it on your tongue.
Is it a family trait to just insult people that you just meet who help you out?
I don't have time for this. My brother is here.
Okay, well,
Oh, is it going to be another pissing contest? Because I'll go make some popcorn.
And he turns around and he sees in the woods, coming from the woods where you guys came from, is Cabris and Solara walking out of the woods together. Solara looks a bit pale in the face, kind of wiping her mouth, coughing a little bit, and he says, "Brother," and he draws his sword again. Come no closer. And Capers at this point just looks at him. As he does, just floats along, doesn't even walk, doesn't even use his feet, just kind of floats, his cape billowing behind him. Hands are very calmly behind his back, and looks at Diamor and smiles, and he says, Now, brother, there's no need for that.
Baldrick's gonna give
see
the
you all again.
heaviest freaking sigh.
And we're like, listen, we've been through a lot, all right? In a very, very short amount of time. Solara, firstly, are you
Oh
all
my
right?
God. I'm like running to Valdrick.
You're looking like something happened. Do you need
Listen.
Anya to beat somebody up?
I'm
I don't
fine.
know if we'll be able
No.
to win,
Please.
but we can do our best.
Space travel, whatever we did to get here. It's
Well,
just
I'm so
physical.
happy and so sad to see you at the same time, because now I'm pretty sure we're all stuck here. Have you tried exiting the premises? I'm gonna say to
That,
Vengeance.
but then why would that cross my mind? I just needed to get here.
Yeah, no, you stay here. Him, can you get us back out of here? Or are you now also stuck in the worst family reunion we have ever had?
I can. But first,
All right,
I would like to
toot.
talk to my brother.
Talk or fight? Just need to know how to space myself out from this.
Yeah. Go on.
I would like to fight very much. No, brother, just hear me out before you go all crazy again.
That's not leveled.
And
Please
Diamor
don't.
says, how's the wing? And he smirks for the first time during this conversation. And Cabris just kind of brushes it off as if he said nothing and says, please, there's much to discuss. And then Diamor says, I want nothing to do with you, brother. You betrayed me and father when you killed him, or whatever it is that happened to him, when you let him die by the hands of the devils. And Cabra says, see, that's the thing. Our father's not dead. I lied to you.
Valdrick audibly
I
gasped.
just want to talk. May we please? And Diamor says, I don't believe you. Then Cabra says, well then good luck getting out of here. And he goes to turn, and Diamor says, wait. They have something they're dealing with right now. Valdrick, can I trust you to be safe? Will you guys be safe with this?
Yeah, I mean, we're fine. Anya's with us. I got a big old sword. I'm feeling really great, actually. Fantastic. Feeling better than I felt in like, well, truly since the beginning of this whole thing. Yeah, get the fuck out of here. What makes you think that I wanted you to help us anyway? First of all, assumptions.
I know it's not fair of me to ask you this, but do you trust me in this moment?
Aldrich's gonna just narrow her eyes at her and say,
Get out of here, you fucker.
And he slowly turns back to Cabris and says, lead the way. Although, you've never been here before. Welcome to my second life. And Cabris kind of just rolls his eyes and says, to your place. I'm assuming you have a place here.
Baldrick giggles.
Everyone just giggles quietly.
You can
I'm
use
gonna-
my wagon.
I'm gonna tell Diamor, for what it's worth, he promised like no violence in today, so
And if you break my wagon or anything in it, I'll have Anya take it from your hide and hang it on my wall.
what she said. Yep.
5 gold that they last no more than 30 minutes.
Diamor slowly puts his vorpal blade back into its sheath and kind of follows him, and the two of them turn and head off with a very unusually and awkward distance between the two of them as they walk.
Right. Any of us have any experience with ghost hunting?
No.
I'm pretty sure I played a show once in a haunted pub. I don't know if that counts.
I read a book on it.
Better than I can say.
No,
Haunted
I
living things.
normally. Okay, well, normally I know I'm supposed to be against like the undead, but really, ghosts? We don't. I can't really hate on a ghost, unfortunately. You know, they're not really necessarily undead. They're just
You
afterlife.
say you can't hit on a ghost?
No. I can't hate on a ghost. I can't hate on.
Oh, okay. All right.
That's fair too. Can't hit on a ghost either.
You could.
But
I mean,
Kalimdor, you know,
Try.
Kalimdor's got nothing against ghosts. That's all I gotta say. Unless you know, they're causing some shenanigans. In
Well, there's
which case-
definitely shenanigans happening in here.
Because we can't leave.
Well,
Well, all that was pretty weird, but if
Tommy,
I may,
forgot you here.
God.
I know I can take
Oh, I
that
forgot
from
it.
you. Let me explain this a little bit more better as Tommy Two Tails takes the spirit tracker from you, Valdrick, and says, "So as you can see, there's a chart I made. I'm a very smart tiefling, and they pay me well here. So you know, I go above and beyond and fix their problems. And you know, when one of our attractions gets haunted and kills a bunch of people, well, 2 people, then I fix it. That's the Tommy Two Tails way. So let me explain to you all what's going on here. You've got on this side, you've got the spirit type. Now, I don't know. I'm kind of guessing. Kind of been doing some research, talking to some of the locals where they come in and ask them about their dealings with these sorts of spirits, and have just gathered a lot of information since this has been shut down. So these are the spirits on the left side. On the right, over the top, you have the different ways that the spirit can kind of expose themselves to their surroundings and who's around them. So for instance, if I got a candle, I'm walking in there with a candle, and that flame turns green, I know that there's a couple of different types of spirits that have that effect. So that would be the green flame, for instance. Orbs, there's just like these floating bubbles almost, much like what you see in the skyline here at Phantasmo, but much smaller. You listening, Anya? You got a dead look on your face. Okay, next is telepathy, and that means you can hear voices in your head, and they can talk to you. It's very weird. People have passed out from it, kind of freaky. Next is the area around you just gets really, really cold, and you can see your breath. It's freezing temperatures. This one's a lot more harder to tell up in the northern part of the continent, like Volry and the mountains like that, where it's snowy. But here, you don't have to worry about that. Phantasmo, perfect weather. Next is you can see handprints, but only certain people can see them. People with true sight, people with sort of spells that they can cast. Ways.
Specialized, Tommy.
That's right, Valdrick. I forgot. That's why we
Very
hired you
special.
on, our little celestial over here. True sight. Well, if you, Valdrick, see any sorts of handprints around there, you'll be able to narrow it down a little bit. Then some ghosts, some spirits really try to communicate to the people around them by writing in book, or writing on the wall, or writing, carving words into someone's forearm even. It's very freaky, but if you experience any sort of writing, there are those types of spirits as well. And last but not least, does anyone here know the dancing lights spell? Dancing lights. Anyone here? Okay, a couple of you. All right. Well, there are 3 spirits in particular that have this ability where if you cast dancing lights, the spirit can manipulate them and move them around out of your control. And if that happens, it's one of the 3 spirits. Hopefully I explained this pretty well. I'm certainly not going in there anymore. Not that your lives aren't valued. You're just more capable than me. So take this with you. Valdrick, maybe I should hand this to someone else.
Tommy, quick question here. What do you propose we do when we find the very bad thing in the maze?
I haven't gotten that far yet.
Perfect.
I don't.
No, I know a lot of hymnals.
You need to You need to reveal it somehow. I'm not a religionist. You know, I don't know nothing about that sort of thing.
Well, I do have this chalice, Father Xavier. For some reason, just happened to give me before coming back here, because we had to stop by, to heal his stupid wing. But I do have this chalice, and he said it was called the Chalice of Spirit Revelation, and I don't know how to use it. But
that is
believe...
oddly specific.
Yeah, very specific.
So, Laura, can
I
I
think
see
he
it?
might be able to see time. Yeah, sure. I hand it to Clive.
I'm gonna take out the book that I took and open it and see if anything happens with the chalice near the book, because that's where we first got that info from.
Okay. Yeah, you open up the book, roll an Arcana check. Would you say 23? Oh.
I did not roll yet.
Oh.
I wish. 18.
Okay. With an 18, you pull out the book, and on the front cover, it has that chalice. And you kind of look at the book, and you look at the chalice, and it looks like an exact replica of the chalice. And you open up the book, and you start kind of flipping through just to kind of see what happened. You get halfway through to where that mirror dimension was, and it's not there. And the rest of the book is still empty. But as you're kind of flipping through the pages, you get to the chapter on holy water, and it draws your attention. And with an 18, you learn that you have to fill up the chalice with holy water, and once whatever spirit you're trying to look for in that moment, someone mutters a prayer to whoever their god is, their deity is, and pretty much asking their deity, is this spirit that we're looking for a ghost or invisible stalker or whatever, and if it's correct, the chalice will glow, but you have to fill it with holy water first for it to take an effect, and then do this prayer.
I'm gonna look at that and then show it to Solara and go, this seems like something that you would need to know. And hand her the book and the chalice.
Okay. And he also gave me 5 holy waters. I thought he was just really trying to make sure I don't know, he
Protected.
other people. I mean, it's like I don't know, he must have known something. I don't know. That old man.
He is a priest at the Temple of Kalimvor. He's got holy water that he gives to his acolytes.
She's just all set. All right, well, you guys.
This is literally my worst nightmare. The thing before was really bad. This might be worse. I swear I still have nightmares about this to this day. You know, it felt like days that I was stuck in there the last time, just tormented by unseen forces and screaming in my head. I thought I was gonna die. I actually don't remember how I got
grown
out.
since then, you know?
Have I?
Yeah, certainly.
Yeah. No, this is fine. Definitely. You know what? You're right. I'm feeling mighty. I'm feeling inspired, is what I am. You have inspired me. Anya?
We ready?
All you, baby.
Okay.
I'm just gonna stand right here.
Are you using the sunblade as we walk in?
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah, let's get that bad boy out.
Speaking
Let's get him
Spring
out.
of Blood, and then I'll take the Sunblade. And
Don't you also have that lantern, Solara? That basically is like true sight within like the
Oh.
rays of the light.
I think it shows things that are. Was it invisible? Or was it just through the.
Take it out, just in case.
I can't remember.
Take it out, like
I'm also gonna preemptively summon Sevenfer because Valdrick is scared pissless right now. This is Shadowheart Wolf.
oh goodness gracious.
did
I
we
can
ever
also just
get
dancing lights.
a picture of the Hall of Mirrors?
Of the what?
The Hall
Hall
of
of
Mirrors.
Mirrors.
I could not. I don't think I uploaded it to the drive. Now that I'm thinking about
You
it.
guys are frozen.
Of course.
You see, I completely drew out the spirit tracker in my notebook, first of all.
I love it so much.
Quick reference. Alright, you guys are back.
I don't think I could not find it. I don't think I uploaded it yet. So, but yeah, basically, let's see if I can find it really quick in this bing bong here. I don't think. I know I rendered it, but maybe not. Either way.
Hey,
So
would
this-
Ghost count as an invisible creature? With like any of these spirits that we're searching for?
You're not really sure?
Okay.
You're not really
Alright.
sure.
Because the Lantern of Revealing reveals invisible creatures and objects are visible as long as they're in the bright light.
Okay.
So,
Yeah. I don't know if Anya's ever come across a ghost before. Most of your bounty hunting has just been
for alive people.
for like humanoids.
For alive
that-
ones.
Yeah, people that owe debt, monsters, even. Nothing crazy.
I'm gonna cast dancing lights before we go in because I can move them with me,
Okay.
and it's a cantrip, so I can just repeatedly cast it as we're going through.
Okay.
I like this, you guys. These are the marks of a well-trained party. This is good.
Yeah.
And professional ghost hunters.
We're professional
IRL.
ghost hunters. This is player knowledge, not character knowledge. We've gone ahead. We have a sage bundle. We're just ready, just in case.
Except
I'm
there's-
basically a priest.
Yeah, she's basically a priest. We cast bless. Everybody gets blessed.
she's-
If I run out of holy water, I'll just use like create water, fill the jars, and like pray over them and create more holy water.
Perfect.
I got this on lock.
there is a way to perform rituals as a cleric to create holy water, but you do have 5 flasks of them.
I also have this if we run out.
Oh
I
yeah.
also have one flask from the Church of Kalimdor.
I have none, so
I don't
nobody
think you were
else.
with us.
I don't think I
Unfortunately
was.
unfortunately for Anya, there's no trailer to sit in with computers. She actually
No. Anya doesn't need that. Charlotte needs that. Anya does not.
touche. So what is the marching order as Calliope
You know what the marching order is.
forms dancing lights? You've got the lamp out. Valdrick is
I got Sevenfer next to me.
yeah summons her.
I have
Sevenfer.
the Dostly like
Up here, like full beetle slung to me as close as it can, and I'm like Scooby-Doo uncomfortably close to Anya, creeping along behind her.
I've got a torch for the flame to do the green flame test, and then I've got the sunblade. So
Okay. So how this is gonna work is I have a map behind me, but I'm not gonna show you. I'm just gonna kind of describe as you guys are walking through. I'll give you like a left or a right, and you guys will have to make decisions. And I'll keep track of your movement, but in true Mirror Maze fashion, you guys will be feeling around in the dark. Metaphorically speaking, because Tommy Two Tails, as you guys are walking in, Tommy Two Tails shouts, it is pretty well lit in there. They've got some sconces lit around of burning flames, but good luck. Best of luck to
Nice,
you
Tommy.
all. If you find out who it is, what kind of spirit it is, well, I would advise not fighting it, but there are 4 of you capable young women. So just do your best, and good luck, Valdrick.
Do we have a way to mark our way through the maze? Question, like making marks on the mirrors or something, so we don't get lost if we try to leave.
Oh, like in Labyrinth?
Yeah.
And that, yeah.
It might not work, but is it worth a try?
But I'm going to say,
I will leave
in Labyrinth, the stones do be turning to go the wrong direction, and I don't trust. Can Valdrick do an insight check to see if this place is a place like the Labyrinth David Bowie movie where things are going to move around and get all weebly wobbly?
You can do a history check because of Valdrick's history. You went in there one time.
You guys are frozen, but I have to do a history check. 18. Where did my character sheet go? It's underneath me. 18 plus 6.
That's 24.
I got a 24 on history.
So you guys, in your one time in Phantasmo, your history as an entertainer there, you went in one time. You passed by that every day on your way to the big top tent to do your entertaining. And one day you were like, I got some time. Let me, I got a few hours to kill.
It's a silly, goofy mood.
Let me just try. And you were goofy. You're silly. You're a little intoxicated from a twibble. As it's all coming back to your memory, and you go in there, and it was terrifying. You were absolutely terrified. With a 24, you remember every vivid detail. You were in a room. There's all 5 of your senses at some point will be tested, just depending on which room you end up in. There are some dead ends. There are moving walls, moving rooms, but there is one way in and one way out. You know that it's not all a ruse or a trick. You know that there is an end to it. You just never found it.
Right. I have no idea how the fuck to get through this place. It's a terrible place. It fucks with you and just like...
I'm like whispering this into the back of Anya's neck, basically.
It's just like, it's the worst. It's the worst kind of place. It's gonna fuck with your ears and your smells and just all manners of things that none of us... I don't want it, you don't want it, none of us want it. I hate this place. This is the worst place. I just remember crying in a corner. I don't think I've ever told anyone that before. I think I'm having a traumatic breakthrough. Have you ever had one of those, Anya? Traumatic.
Can't say I have.
Well,
I don't think
it's gonna be. Because you know what? Last time you didn't have that.
That's true. I do think I'm hyperventilating a little bit. My hands are a little bit clammy. Do you want to feel?
No.
Okay. That's it.
And as you guys are slowly walking through, listening to Valdrick's panic behind you, as you are walking into the entrance, which the entrance, like I said, is this big tiefling head in true Phantasmo fashion. Multicolored tiefling with crazy ears. It's like a crazy mouth and eyes. Mouth open 3 times the length that a normal humanoid could open their jaw. And the tongue kind of sticks out, and you guys are walking up this tongue-like step into this building, which the building itself is shrouded in black billowing clouds that kind of shroud and give it that mysterious vibey look. And it is boarded up currently. You guys are kind of taking the boards down. Like, I would assume Anya is taking these boards down as Valdrick is like, oh my gosh, I'm having a traumatic breakdown.
Valdrick is like nervously plucking the Twilight Zone theme song on her lute. Gently.
And Anya gets the last of the boards collected and down and kind of sets them neatly off to the side, and you walk in and you turn around, and the light from the entrance mysteriously fades out and is just a bleak blackness void. And you turn back around, and it is dimly lit. There are torch sconces around, but you're looking dead ahead at a mirror on the wall on the other side of this entrance, and it branches off to the left and 1 corridor to the right. And you hear a faint as you enter.
I don't like that.
Left is low, but right is tight. Left is low, but right is tight. Left is low, but right is tight. Bing, 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 bing.
Not that one. I have a bop in here.
You guys, I've never experienced this level of fear before. Truly, even when I was giving birth to evil, I'm just having like a really bad time right now, where I feel like a child again, and like I'm gonna be stuck in here. And just maybe we should all hold hands.
Baldric.
Take a breath.
Maybe you should cast like a calming
I reach up and
spell on
grab
yourself.
Baldric's
You
hand.
know, like
Can I
you're
cast
really.
calm emotion on myself?
I think so.
You're
Maybe.
you're a lot right now. You're kind of being an elf.
I can't. You know. Yeah, I'm gonna cast calm emotion on myself. Do I need to roll if it's willing?
you are willing. I would consider that willing. I can look it up really quick, but oops.
I'm trying to find it. I know she's in.
It'll only be for a minute, but you just need a minute to
There she is. Calm emotion.
bring yourself down a couple pegs.
Okay. Yeah.
And it is a group of people, if you would like. If anyone else is
These
feeling.
bitches are fine. Do they
Honestly,
look fine? Am I
bad.
looking at them and they look fine?
I mean, I feel like Calliope would be a little bit nervous behind you. She reached up and grabbed your hand when you asked.
Yeah. Solar's kind of like momming you down. Clyde is a little skitsy. Anya just seems bored.
No, Anya is sad. I stand. She's definitely sad.
You know, in saving a spell slot, I'm gonna go ahead and just drink a little bit from one of my flasks of Spazarac, just like a little, and then hand it over to Calliope, and then hand it over to Anya. Just
Calliope will take a little swig of it and then hand it off.
All right. Perfect. So this entrance, you guys are kind of prepping yourselves. A lot of things floating beside you. The sword, the dancing lights. Pretty well lit, but very creepy. You hear that laughter again. And yeah, like I said, it's a 10-foot wide entrance that branches off left or right. Which way do you go?
Let's.
Baldric, you don't remember anything about?
I think I ran into here with my eyes closed for the most part. Yeah, let me just Baldric's gonna vibe check. Do either side feel like worse than the other one? Does it have any difference in feeling if I'm standing there? I'm gonna stand directly beside Anya, not anywhere near in front of her. I'm gonna stand directly at her side, just vibe check.
Yeah, does one have like a draft, or does one feel colder?
Yeah, is there something going on? Do I see anything with my weird special eyes?
You kind of go up to the T, the fork in the road, and you kind of look one way, and you look the other way, and you're trying to make your decision. And this building, this maze, has obviously been constructed with this thought in mind, and so it's kind of like a fog of war that whoever constructed this building had in mind of, like, well, they don't want people to see down the hallway before they make the decision, so they just have to kind of go into the mist and see what happens. And once you walk into that fog, then the rest is revealed. You kind of heard stories about the creation of this strange maze, Valdric. But yeah, your left and your right, you see their hallways, but you don't see much past the mist. They both look and feel the same.
Baldric's gonna close her eyes and do what I'm gonna call mumbo jumbo vibe check, where I roll a die and decide that way based off of how I feel. Right, it's definitely tight here. Right feels good. Right feels excellent. Definitely not left. Right feels like the right thing to do. Yeah.
All right, do the rest of you trust her and go right with her?
I guess. I'll lead the way down.
Solar's muted.
Sorry, I was like, it doesn't matter. And we trust Baldric fully.
All right. All right, so you go to the right, and as you enter this mist, again, the path behind you fills with more mist, and now you are in a hallway where it's fully mirrors. You see mirrors in front of you, on the walls, on the ground, on the ceiling. You're kind of like checking every nook and cranny with your light, which gives off a decent amount, and there are some torch sconces in there, so it's not like it's pitch black or anything like that. The light situation is dim, but it's at least consistent. As you're walking, you are walking down this hallway, and kind of you obviously see many images of yourselves walking. And as you're walking along, Valdrick, you're the first one. Go ahead and make a perception check. This would be at advantage with your true sight.
Nice. Good.
And your
That's
history.
a good one. Thanks. 21.
Okay. You're walking along. You're looking at yourself in the mirror, and you see like maybe 10 images of yourself combined in all these mirrors around you. You notice, would you say a 21? You notice that one of the images is not following your exact move. You caught a mistake that this one image made.
I'm gonna really quick go like this.
It's the
Craziest flail.
It's on the mirror to your direct left.
Anya, something terrible's happening. One of my reflections is not my reflection, and it's that one, and I'm gonna point dead at whatever one is not the one that is following me.
Okay, I'm gonna walk up to the mirror.
As you're walking up and she's doing the flailing, one of your reflections itself, as you're saying all this, goes and runs away and just runs off in the distance and kind of has this like never-ending effect of it running. And then you like freak out, and Anya, you just see a regular Valdrick in front of that left mirror now.
I'm telling you right now. 100% telling you.
Can I touch the mirror? Is there anything different about the mirror? Where is it?
Make an investigation check.
Okay. Ooh, a dirty 20. Ooh. I have a +7.
Okay. As you touch the mirror, the scared Valdrick image all of a sudden sprouts horns and looks devious all of a sudden and goes to swipe at you. But with a 20, you're able to see it before it happens, and you dodge out of the way as this arm, which looks like Valdrick's arm, but as it comes out of the mirror, forms into like this long tiefling arm. And
Can I swipe at it?
Takes a swipe at you. Go ahead and roll an attack.
21.
Okay, go ahead and roll damage. That hits.
Hey. Okay. You need to get down.
The cat.
I mean, where's Max? I mean, come on. Let's double it up.
Let's see. Is it undead?
I mean, you won't know until
Okay.
it's all happening quickly. You can't tell.
Okay, because I do extra damage to undead. So.
Okay. What would the damage be without it?
5 + 7 is 12. 12.
Okay. And what would the damage be with it?
+2.
Okay, so it'd be a 14 if it was undead.
Yes.
All right. So this is with the Sunblade?
Yep. So radiant damage.
Okay. Was it already ignited, like
Yep.
as you're walking through? Okay. So quick, you see Valdrick jump out of the way as Anya takes the lead, and this arm comes out, takes a swipe at Anya. She dodges and hacks at it, and you see it sizzle and burn down the forearm before it reaches back, and you hear it screech for a second. Yeah! And then you hear a couple seconds of silence go by, and then you hear, "Ouchie, that hurt! Why?
I don't like that. Is anything happening to the flames
this
around
place.
us? To the orbs?
Um,
Anything that follows our chart?
go ahead and make an investigation check. And
Okay.
meanwhile, Anya, you did notice that the extra bit of damage went through. It seems to be an undead creature that you just took a swipe at.
19.
19, okay. You're looking at the torch sconces of flame, trying to see, you're remembering what Tommy Two Tails told you about their changing of color to green. None of them seem to be changing colors. They're flickering very tamely. And you're looking for sort of floating orbs around you to see if there's any sort of ethereal creature or can't think of the words, spirit-like creature around you. You don't notice any orbs in your immediate vicinity. But as you're looking, you do come across another fork in the road. There's a left hallway and a right hallway as you're kind of inspecting after Anya takes her swipe. Which way do you guys go?
Chris, I was unsure. I actually do an extra 1d8 damage to undead. So I just rolled it and it's an 8, so it'd be 20 total damage.
Okay.
Sorry, I did not have that written down.
That's okay.
I'll draw everyone's attention to the fork in the road. And be like, look, we have another decision to make.
Those goes. Alrighty, vibe check. Count them off.
Oh, we went right last time. Let's go left this time.
I agree.
I like that idea.
Let's do
Also,
it.
this should be less scary because now we know there's something in here that can take damage and is undead. So,
That's good too. That's good, right?
I'll also let everybody know about I didn't see any of the flames flicker, and I haven't seen any orbs or anything yet.
And you hear a voice
no.
echo, I didn't see any of the flames flicker, I did the orbs! I'm an idiot!
Oh my god, he's the worst.
The
way you guys froze right after you said that.
Rude. I hope people just call it out. She's like, well, that's fucking rude.
That's what I'm saying. It's a terrible, terrible place. You guys are back.
it's a lot of talk for someone who's hiding behind mirrors like a child.
Yeah.
I'm a child! And then it kind of echoes and fades away.
Can we tell where the sound is like coming from?
Yeah.
I want to go kill this
thing.
All around you, you're kind of sensory overload right now as all these images are coming at you. Just like that, the sounds are also like coming up from the ground, coming down from the ceiling, behind you, in front of you, to your left, right.
But it's not in our head.
You don't think it's in your head yet.
Okay. All right. So we'll go left.
Okay.
Yet!
I'll lead us left.
You don't think it's in your head yet?
Yeah, well, can keep the other voices company.
All right, so you walk down this hall. The hall gets a little bit skinnier, about 5 feet in width, but you're slowly walking down. You can kind of hear chimes of like a music box playing really dissonant off notes, and it's really messing with your bard sense of music, Valdrick. You're just like, oh, that's a D and a D sharp? Oh, gosh.
I'm really aggressively trying to like correct the notes by playing it on my lute.
Yeah, you're like, ting, ting. And you're like, that's a D and a D sharp and a G sharp? You're like, and a D and a G sharp? That's a tritone. This is terrible. It's awful.
This is the worst day. Have we tried breaking the mirrors?
I say that. What happens if we try to smash a mirror, you know?
I mean, is it better to have the House of Mirrors intact, or is it better to have it de-ghost and
My swivel would probably be
That
quite
probably
upset
would-
if we destroyed the
Probably
House
would
of
piss
Mirrors.
them off.
He
Well,
quite likes it here, though the rest of us think it's awful, awful place.
Well, there must be a spell that can just repair it all, right? I mean,
repair.
not-
Yeah,
not
yeah.
to my
Prestiga,
yeah.
Prestigabudation. Prestiga Benedict
double
Cumberbatch.
a ding dong.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it will do
Alright.
that.
Well, let's put the mirror breaking in our back pocket for later, because that does sound quite satisfying if it should come to it.
I guess.
Okay, so do we see anything down the
Terrible
hallway?
place.
So you look down this left hallway. You take a step forward, and the path reveals again for you as it looks like it dog legs off to the right as you head down this one-way hall. And as you're walking, obviously slowly, you're paying attention to the reflections. And you see this tiefling, much like I described with Tivit, with the chin strap beard and the piercing on the chin, the upper chin. You see this red tiefling run by in one of the mirrors, and looks like he's like jumping from one mirror to another.
Huh.
And he kind of
But if he's
giggles.
gonna point at him and go, "It's that fucker." He's the one who fucked with me in the forest.
Have we tried just running after him into the mirror?
I feel like that's a bad idea.
Rock, paper, scissors. Who's gonna try to?
I'll try it. You kidding me? I'll do it for free.
Do it, Anya.
Go for it.
Yeah, Anya's like, I'll try it. You know,
I'm just gonna go and try to break the mirrors. I'm just gonna try to break the mirrors.
You're gonna.
I know we
Okay.
just said we weren't gonna do that, but there's a crazy tiefling.
He ran into the mirror first.
The amount of money that my merchandise has brought Phantasmo, I think will pay for new mirrors.
Okay, so you take a slice with your sword,
Yeah. I'm
or
just
with
gonna,
your sunblade.
Yeah.
Okay. You go to break the mirror, and and the same amount of sunblade as you put it into the mirror comes out right back at you, and I need you to make a dexterity saving throw to see if it
Boy.
hits you.
Oh, that's my lowest one. Oh, okay. 18 plus 3.
Okay, so you put the sunblade in into one of the mirrors on the side, and out comes the blade, and you notice it right as it gets to you, and you kind of dodge out of the way, whoosh, and pull your sword out, and you're like, oof, that was close.
Baldrick's gonna
Mirrors are these.
so quickly try to stick her hand through the mirror to see what happens.
Yeah, the same thing happens. You put it through, and it comes right back out at you.
Baldrick puts her face in the mirror.
Baldrick, stop it.
Yeah,
Meanwhile,
you-
where's the tiefling? Where's the tiefling?
Oh, okay,
God.
wait. Well, was Tibbet? Tibbet wasn't the one we saw a minute ago in the other mirror, right? That's a different one.
You really only saw the arm because it was
Okay.
Valdrick's reflection, but as it came through, it was a tiefling arm. So I mean, it looked like a tiefling. You're a tiefling. You recognize it as a
Okay.
tiefling arm.
Well, I'm gonna use my Eyes of the Grave so I can detect where any undead is within 60 feet of me. Well, that isn't behind total cover or isn't protected from divination magic. I don't know if that counts.
Yeah,
I'll try that.
Yeah, you can try. Okay, so you cast this spell. What's it called again?
Oh, it's just part of my grave domain. It's my Eyes of the Grave feature. I don't know. Yeah, I get it at first level.
Okay. Yeah, you stop for a second as your eyes turn from whatever normal color they are to this like orange and then eventually white, and you kind of you are looking around as Valdrick's like putting her head in and putting her arm in, like laughing, having fun with this mirror. You're taking this very serious moment to try to sense where this thing is, and your vision turns from normal vision to a very misty, mysterious kind of realm. Everything's a lot more foggy, but clear in a way that you like are ready to see any sort of spirit, and you don't detect any sort of undead within that
Okay.
range.
Okay, it's worth a shot. That was a cool description, though.
It was
That
was
really-
worth a shot, and
I liked it.
could come in handy later, maybe.
I can use it more times. Don't worry.
Awesome.
Highlighter.
Use it like 7 more times.
You guys go around the bend to eventually get to this big circular room that is it literally is in the shape of a sphere. Even the ground is like a divot, and you're kind of standing on the edge, and you don't see any opening. It's just this circle.
Do we see anything in here?
You see a bunch of reflections as this is a sphered mirror. It distorts your image as a curved mirror would, and depending on how you're looking at it, you could see yourself super wide, super compressed. Definitely throwing you off, but there's nothing. You don't see anything in particular in it. Just a
Do
mirror.
Specialized see anything in this room?
They do not.
Get no true sight, nothing.
No freezing temps. My torch is still.
I'm gonna send the dancing lights in there
Okay. Dancing
and
lights
give them.
go in the middle of the room. These 4 floating lights, or however you're controlling them. You still seem to have maintained control over them as they now illuminate this ball of a room. And what once you weren't able to see with your true sight, Valdric, you now see are little tiefling creatures kind of running around. They seem to be running around in the mirrors themselves, but none of them look like Tivit, but they're all differently dressed in like these short little. They look like the workers of the Phantasmo, dressed as a worker of the Phantasmo, tiefling.
Does only Valdric see this, or do we all?
Only Valdric sees it with her true sight, her celestial eyes, and it was illuminated by your dancing lights going in the middle and kind of creating more of an aura.
Wait, so that does that mean dancing lights?
That does not
Isn't
mean
that-
dancing lights. The dancing lights would be moving themselves.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna repeat that information back to everybody and just be like,
Are there still tieflings working this, even though it's closed, or what?
Does not look like that. Are they passing in and out of the mirrors, or just like running around down there?
They're running around the mirrors. It looks like, based on the reflection, that they should be behind you, but you you turn around, there's no one there. You look in the mirror and they're still like, laughing and giggling. But still, even though they are tieflings, you get a sense of a different vibe than Tivit. Like, Tivit seemed more murderous, especially his arm coming out to swipe at you. These tieflings seem like part of the attraction.
Okay. Maybe it's just a little show trick. I don't know. They don't seem like Tivit. Maybe they're, I don't know. What do you call them? Residual?
They
Maybe
didn't release the tieflings when they shut this down because people were murdered. They left the tieflings in here.
I don't think those are tieflings. Not like Tivit. I don't know what they are. I can't tell from back here. But they're not behind us when they should be.
Valdric,
I don't wanna go down that.
in your as a part of your history check, you get the feeling that this is a dead end. Although you haven't walked in the sphere itself yet, you're kind of still on the edge. But you get the feeling that there's like no way around
This
this.
is for sure a dead end. Whatever this is a dead end. I'm having
Alright, so-
vague flashbacks to this room from when I got trapped here, and this is for sure a dead end.
Okay, so let's go back. And when we took a left, we should take a right.
Okay.
Right.
So you go back, you double back. You hear faint laughter from the tiefling sphere room that you just left, and you go around. You kind of get back to that fork in the road. No sorts of movement, no moving walls or anything like that. It seems like it's in the same place. And you take a hook around the bend. And you are walking down this long corridor with another mirror just as a wall at the end, and it looks like just another walled off section.
I'm just gonna walk up and stick her hand through.
Okay. Valdric sticks her hand through the end of this mirror and gets sucked through, and Valdric, her entire self gets sucked through,
Oh god.
and you're not really sure where she went.
Well, I'm gonna follow her. So
Yeah.
Following
Okay, we have to
Aldrich.
follow her. We're not doing this
Yep.
split up thing again.
That
So
was a
let's go.
silly, goofy thing again.
Why would you do that? You know
It's
that.
gonna be the
Anya.
silly,
When you go in
goofy.
front of Anya.
It's such a Baldric thing.
This
though.
is why I don't go in front of Anya. This is it.
Damn it, Aldrich.
Baldric's just trying to have a silly, fun time.
Oh, son
you
of
know?
a bitch. Walks through the wall behind Anya.
Just doing her
You
best.
all fall through. You don't get that sort of motion sickness feeling that you were getting whenever you were teleporting, 600 miles at a time. This feels like you teleported, but it was you quickly go through time and space in a second, and it's just like you walk through a door frame, but to a different area. Everyone make a perception check for me, and Valdric at advantage.
Good. Because that was a 2 and the other one was a 19.
Oh, great.
Ooh, 30-20.
Oh,
Dirty 20.
25.
and Clappy.
30-20.
I got a
Perfect.
23.
Perfect.
Ooh.
So you guys
Look
are
at all of us.
you guys are very perceptive. You all fall through, and immediately are met with these all around you. You get this sense of this magical aura about it, and you get a sense of elation about this particular part of the mirror maze. It's still another mirrored hallway that you're in, that you found yourselves in, but there are out from the ground and around you little tiny bubbles of magical orbs floating up and fading into black.
Alright, so are these orbs?
These are orbs. With your rolls, you notice that you realize that they are the orbs that Tommy Two Tails was talking about.
Okay.
All right, so from my
Wow. So we're already down to 3.
We're doing it.
Banshee, Revenant, or White. Is that right? White.
White.
White, yes.
Yeah, Banshee, Revenant, or White, right? Hopefully.
And I think now would be a good time to take a 5-minute potty break. Yeah?
Agreed.
All right.
This is so fun. I'm having the best time.
Perfect. Good. I was
Love me some Phasmophobia.
was trying to figure out how this would play, but it seems like it's going pretty smoothly. So before we continue, now that I've learned that Valdric leveled up through that experience, we're gonna have a little flashback of when she's having this fight with Diamor. She converts him. Crazy things happening in her wagon. Valdric levels up to level 10, and Valdric, you, like I said, this is a flashback to hours ago. All of this experience with Diamor has changed you. You've seen him fight with Cabris, and you had a lot of emotions boiling up, anger. Some of it was inspirational to cause you to learn the magical secret in a bardish way. The spell that is synaptic fireball. Is that what you said?
Synaptic static.
Synaptic static. As you see, Diamor uses electricity and lightning a lot in his arsenal. You have this moment in your wagon where you're like, I'm gonna be there for my friends, in a physical mass cure wounds sort of way, but I'm gonna beep some things up. I'm gonna wreck.
I'm gonna start beeping some stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna start beeping some stuff, and you feel a little bit of a tingle as you feel this power dwell in you. Anyways, that's your level up. So, back to reality. Oop, there goes gravity. So, back to scary clown music. You are all on the other side of this portal that you just went through. You've noticed the the orbs around you, the magical orbs, some big, some small, all floating upward and vanishing into thin air. And so one of you or all of you kind of pulls out your little notebooks that the Saz Father granted upon all of you, and checks off orbs, and you realize, oh my gosh, that narrows it down to 3 spirits: the Banshee, the Revenant, and the White. So already you guys are off to a fast, quick start.
Question on the writing. Will the writing appear anywhere, or do we have to have like a book or something out for it?
You're not really sure. I think Tommy Two Tails did mention the writing happens anywhere, because you remember he can carve it in your flesh. He can write by writing on mirrors, stuff like that.
Okay.
But as you guys travel down a little bit farther down the corridor, it has some zigs and zags, but it all maintains one course as you continue down this mirror maze, to the point where there is another split, and you can either go right or left.
If we went left last time, but then we went right again, should we go right again, or should we try left?
Let's go right.
Why not?
Keep up the right.
Why
If you
mess
just
with
keep
the
making
thing?
right-hand turns, surely something will happen.
Alright. So you guys choose the right path. Well, you choose the path to the right. Not sure if it's correct or not, but here you are, and there's another hallway down before you, and it continues down. You're not really sure how far, but as you're walking down, there is an opening that forms to the left, and as you guys are walking, Clappy, what's your armor class? No reason.
Oh, goodness. It's a 12.
Your armor class is a 12. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Not this.
Can I use a reaction?
Well, you
No,
don't know,
what?
you don't know what you don't know what's happening to you yet.
No, but it's just.
As you guys are walking around the corner, from the ceiling, two tiefling arms pop out of the ceiling yet again and come down and 1-2 punch on Calliope's head. Calliope, what is your reaction before I tell you what
Like
happens?
whack-a-mole?
It was good. It was gonna be shield, which adds a 5 to my armor class.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, if you want to do that, you can.
You guys are so funny tonight.
Sure. Let's do it.
Okay, so your armor, you look up at the exact right moment that this is happening, and you see yourself looking back at you, and then the tiefling face forms again as two tiefling red long arms come out to punch you. You're able to magically, just purely reactionary, magically throw up a shield as the right fist connects with the shield, but the left fist ends up hitting you. But instead of 20 damage, you take 11 bludgeoning damage as one of them clocks you right in the temple.
Oh, it's not force damage. Damn.
And then
Good 11.
yeah, and then you
I'm
hear
gonna
a
look
voice.
at the ceiling and go, "What the fuck?"
It's just you yelling back at it with your own reflection, and you, and then you're kind of like in anger, holding the side of your head, looking up, yelling at this mirror, and then all of a sudden you see your reflection, the mouth move, and it says, "Gotta be quicker than that."
I'm gonna turn to the group and go, "I swear to God, when we get that fucking tiefling, I'm gonna set him on fire."
That's valid of you.
And you guys, okay, so that was as you guys were passing this opening. Do you go through that opening, or do you continue straight?
Wait, do we want to? Is this like? Is it like Phas in the sense that like the ghost is gonna be in one room, or is it like we're gonna find evidence throughout the whole House of Mirrors?
Sounds like a personal problem. It's
Because I feel like we walked past the orb real quick.
Well, is anything happening with my lights? I think. Okay.
Nope. Your dancing lights are still conjured, still floating. You're still in control of them. The torch sconces are still have orange flames. I will say it's throughout the entire building, Charlotte.
Okay.
I don't want to metagame too much, but for sake of time, yes. So, after Clappy gets swiped at, Kurt cusses herself out in the mirror. Do you guys continue straight or go through that opening on the left?
I feel like we should go to the opening if that's where she got swiped at. I'd like to take a swipe.
Probably.
Let's go into the room, my love little
Get out!
alcoves. Little spooky little alcoves. This is good. This is nice. I feel like we're having a good time in here.
Are we? Are we
Do
really?
you feel like we're having a good time? Valdrick's gonna take another swig off of her flask.
Okay.
Well, Effie's gonna reach her hand out for it.
Okay. At this point, Valdrick, make a Constitution saving throw.
Dirty 20.
Okay. You're holding it down pretty well. You're feeling good. And then
wish I was
Clappy then takes a swig of it, and as you guys are slowly creeping down this side hallway with more mirrors, top to bottom, left to right, mirrors all around, slowly creeping down with all of your defenses at the ready, very much on guard. And Clappy, it doesn't take long for the alcohol to hit your system before you start feeling the feelings of tenseness, the feelings of maybe regret, definitely scared, definitely spooked, and they're not your feelings. You're feeling them from the tattooed bond on your arm.
That's what we need.
You're feeling them straight
Double
from
the
your...
anxiety.
Yeah, you're feeling them straight from your...
Your palms are clammy. Your butthole's puckering.
Mom spaghetti.
Mom's spaghetti. It's coming out your pockets.
Why are you saying that going, shit, that's right.
Yeah.
Forgot that happens when we both drink. Okay.
Quietly
making a note to herself going, don't drink anymore while we're in here.
As you guys are walking, you're kind of distracted by all this, and you realize that the ground beneath you is no longer a hard, like, mirror surface. It starts becoming wet and sticky and splotchy and making...
I don't like that.
That's disgusting.
I don't like that. Somebody put the light on
As
the
you're
ground.
walking.
What the fuck are we walking through?
Yeah, no, my lights are so going. I don't want to glance down at the ground, but I'm going to.
Yeah, you look down, and it is this vibrant assortment of colors as you realize you're in a oval-shaped room, and it kind of came out of nowhere. Before you could even stop yourself, you kind of just got entranced with this room, and it's just a sludge of mixed of colors that you've never seen before. Actually, you've probably seen a few of them around Phantasmo, being that it's a crazy circus, magical circus, but a lot of different colors, very sparkly ground, but it is kind of has this alive goop-like nature to it. I need everyone to make a Constitution saving throw.
$19.
Okay.
13.
18.
Oh. Oh no.
No.
Who's your face at, Solara?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I'm stuffing my face with orange chicken.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
Okay, that's a 9. That's a 9.
Another 9.
Yes.
All right. Valdrick and Solara, you feel from this goop kind of seeping through your armor, through your pantaloons, as it...
Oh my god.
You get this kind of initial burning sensation up your legs, and then a weakness kind of sets in, and you can kind of feel it permeate all throughout your body. Before you realize, like, shoot, I need to get out of here. You're not. It's not like quicksand or anything. It's not like any sort of grapple. You guys are able to, if you want to, obviously, can get out of this oval-like room. There seems to be no exit on any of the sides of the walls. But Valdric and Solara, you are poisoned.
Dang.
Oh god, I feel really, really bad. This is a really bad room, and the goop, I don't think it should need to be said, but the goop's really bad. Nobody should
Yeah.
touch the goop. Oh
Yeah, I
god,
regret everything.
we should not be standing in this at all.
You said it's an oval room, Chris?
Yeah.
Okay. Can I roll investigation just to see if there's anything that I can tell, and then like evidence-wise, and then we can exit.
Okay. Yeah, make an investigation.
Wow, I'm rolling great. 16 plus 7, 23.
Okay. Yeah, you look around this oval-shaped room. You're kind of, looking in the goop as it kind of moves up and down. It does have a floor beneath it as you were stuck in it and briefly got out, as you were able to resist the effects of the poison. But as far as anything around this room, there's a couple torch sconces, both flickering orange flame. Nothing out of the ordinary, no sign of anything with your 22 or 23 or whatever. All seems normal other than the magical, colorful goop.
Okay, and there's dancing lights. There's dancing lights.
The dancing lights are still in control. Calliope's still in control of her own dancing lights. With a 22 or whatever, you get the sense that this is another dead end, another red herring.
Okay. All right, then we can turn back around and go back out, and then so if it was just a left-hand corridor, then we would come out and we would take the left to continue going down that hallway, right?
Correct. If you decide to move on, all right. Okay. You find yourself in a very much zigzaggy hallway, one that zigzags much longer than any of the hallways before. So it goes left and then turns right and then turns left again, all in this rigid sort of way. And you don't notice it until about 30 feet in, but you notice it kind of like this optical illusion kind of throws you off a bit. But you notice the ceiling above you is getting much, much closer to your head, and as you're going, it becomes 6 feet, 5 feet, 4 feet, 3 feet. You guys are starting to duck now. 2 feet, you're pretty much almost crawling at this point, as the ceiling is lowering. It doesn't seem to be moving, but it looks like it is because of the optical illusion.
Not that I don't love getting on my hands and knees, but this seems like a very vulnerable position that we've now put ourselves in.
Do you continue on?
Are we just like belly crawling through this place?
Yeah, do you want to go full prone and like see how far you can make it?
Ooh, can I send one of my lights first and see?
Yeah.
I can go up to 120 meters away from me.
Okay. Yeah, you can send your lights through, and I want you to go ahead and make do a investigation check to see, I guess perception actually, to see if you can track your light.
$17.
Okay. Yeah, you see Calliope kind of take the lead on this one as she goes from hands and knees to her belly as she crawls along and shoots one of her 4 dancing lights through the small crevice, which is now about a foot high, and gets to the other side to reveal another fork in the road. There's a mirrored wall at the end of it and 2 openings that shoot off to the left and the right.
Okay.
And you hear faint like screaming
Oh, that's fun.
So great.
I'll relay that to him. I'll be like,
That noise.
well, for one, there's faint screaming. Two, there's a fork in the road. If we move further down, that I can see.
Okay. Can we see if the ceiling gets lower?
You can't tell from where you're at. But
Okay.
I mean,
it is about a
screaming
foot.
could mean a banshee, right? And banshee's one of our options.
Maybe. It's also have you seen anything with your true sight?
Baldric squints at
I was
really
gonna
hard.
say, like there should be like little handprints if it's a banshee, along with dancing light problems.
Dancing light problems. Yeah, you still seem to be maintaining your dancing light for as far as you sent it. And then kind of Clappy kind of shimmies out of the way, and Valdric kind of shimmies up, scoots up, and squints with her ethereal celestial eyes. You don't see any
Can't see
sort
shit
of
from back here.
not from back there.
That's great. Okay, we've got
We
a belly
cold?
crawl through here.
Am I cold?
You can't tell from back there.
Are we
Can't
hearing any
talk.
voices?
Just the faint screaming
Oh, good. So nothing abnormal.
and the
It's just the faint screaming.
and the music box dissonant notes are still playing.
Okay.
What happens when I take my special music box out of my pocket?
I don't know. What is that? What you're doing?
And yeah, Valdric in this moment is going to realize that there's creepy music box music playing. It's going to make a connection in her head. She's going to shuffle her hand down into her bag of holding and kind of rummage, and grab her creepy ass music box and pull it out.
Okay. Yeah, you open it up, or you wind it up and then open it up, and there is I don't know if we've ever described in detail your music box. Let's say that there's like a dancer. You what?
You had a track for it, like a specific.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah.
I did. You open it up after you wind it up, and there's like a little dancing princess in there as it goes around normally. But now when you open it up, it starts to try to play its song, and then seems to like stop, and then rewind itself, almost as if lifelike out of frustration. And then tries to find the harmonizing notes to the surrounding music box. Starts to play a little bit. It sounds doubly as dissonant. Very, very terrible. Every single note is a tritone from the note that you're hearing outside. And it's just ting, 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 as it starts to spin around. And then, again, it rewinds again, and the dancing princess almost seems to come alive as... out of frustration, you can kind of read on her little plastic face, and she screeches really quick, and the box shuts.
I don't know what the fuck that means. I wish I understood this. I've really got to get on understanding this box better. All right. That same strange music box lady.
Wasn't there that one time that if you played it, like if you played what we were hearing, then things would happen?
There was that one time where you were having the terrible nightmares and the music box popped open and it sang a pretty little song for me right before the horrible hag showed up. There's been a few times that it's done things, and honestly, I don't know what the fuck it's doing or why it's doing it. And I don't know why it just did that it did. And also, the strange dancing woman inside, I didn't realize could emote, but she can. So, let's put that back in my pocket and save that for a rainy day. I mean, we gotta move in there, right? We gotta...
I guess so.
Yeah.
We either
Let's keep
shimmy
going.
in or shimmy out.
On you going first.
I'm still in the lead.
Okay.
All right, so Anya shimmies through first, barely able to make it on your belly, and you're able to stand up finally as the ceiling seems to be back at its normal height. And you turn around to kind of help your friends through, but it seems like they're like 30 feet down the hall, and the hall ceiling dips down, but it's like way in the distance. It's this crazy optical illusion that's happening. And as you reach your hand forward, your arm, you're like, whoa, is my arm growing? But it's just part of the illusory lights and mirror. Your arm reaches forward, and is able to grab Valdrick's hand or whoever's next and starts pulling your friends through.
Pull me on ya. Pull me out.
All right, I'm pulling.
Yeah, you almost get nauseous just from the scene of like, I know my hand's here, but it looks like my hand is 30 feet down the hall, and so like you almost have to like close your eyes and not look because the sight to what's actually real is throwing you way off, and you get the feeling of vomiting, but you're able to steel yourself, swallow it, and start pulling your friends through.
Yeah.
And you're at another, like I said, another fork in the road. Which way do
Okay,
you go?
and we can't hear which way the screaming is coming from.
Not sure if it's left or right.
Okay. Well, we seem to have good luck going right.
Right is tight.
Okay, let's go right.
Okay.
Do it.
As you turn the bend, everyone make a perception check.
$18.
I got a
14.
16.
I got a 1.
Oof.
Oh,
You would.
All right.
there's a
You would.
You, Amber.
So
I
we'll,
love you.
all right. So we'll start with actually, Valdrick and Solara would be at disadvantage. So sorry, you'll have to roll again because you guys are
Damn it.
poisoned. Yep, you guys are disadvantaged with poison.
Still 16.
Okay.
Still gonna be my first roll.
nice.
Perfect. All right.
Got a 19 on the second one.
Yeah. Cool. So we'll start with is it a natural one you got over there?
Yes.
Beautiful.
I don't like it when you do that. I don't like this.
You guys are trying to decide which way to go. And again, Clappy, you're enthralled by this reflection in front of you. The reflection turns into Tivit just immediately. You see your face reform into a tiefling with the chin strap beard, the pierced part of his neck, red face with horns that look like a jester's hat.
Mm-hmm.
And he looks like he's walking towards you, almost coming out of the mirror. Do you react?
I have a poison. Oh wait, no, that's a really bad idea. Wait.
That was a good catch. That was good.
Thanks. I don't think I have anything that would work that I would trust myself using. How close am I to the person in front of me?
You are like inches away as he has a big grin on his face, and he looks like he's winding back his hands for some sort of, you see some sort of like magic starting to form in his hands.
I'm just gonna cast shield around myself.
Okay. Okay.
Like, he would have the forethought of, even though shit's going on, she's like, well, too close quarters. At least gonna minimize the damage.
Okay. You throw up your shield again, and you kind of wince and prepare for the blow. And a couple seconds go by, and nothing happens. And you peek up from your shield just to see you and your reflection kind of shivering and frightened at yourself. So nothing happens. Valdrick, with an 18, you round the corner to the right, but as you do, you feel a shiver down your spine. And you feel a gust of a sort of a breeze come from the left as you round the corner to the right.
Like freezing kind of air.
With an 18, it feels a little cold.
You guys, listen, it feels a little bit colder down that way. I'm sensing a little Ah, a little chill in the air.
And Calliope, you kind
You
of...
opened a window.
Calliope also snaps out of her frightenedness behind her magical shield and feels that cold sensation down her bond, that kind of shiver.
You guys.
And goosebumps start to form on your arm.
We should go down that
I'm
way.
quietly cursing Tibbet under my breath.
Okay, let's go to the right. Right?
Left.
No, left. Okay.
Okay. So you guys redirected the last second, and you walk into this room. It's only about 10 feet by 30 feet long. It's kind of this rectangular room. Got torch sconces in the corners, but mirrors all around. And you see in the middle this figure all of a sudden jump out from the mirror, from the ground, and Anya, make a dexterity saving throw.
16.
Okay, you're able to see it pop up first before it has time to react to you. So what do you do?
Swipe it.
Okay, make an attack roll.
Slice and dice.
Slice and dice, baby.
A 14 to hit.
Okay. Pick of the four of you. Pick a name: Anya, Solara, Calliope, or Valdric.
Anya.
Okay. What's your armor class?
22.
No.
Okay.
Frick.
No.
I thought it was going to negatively impact, so that's why
Noble.
I tried to sacrifice myself,
A
and
noble
instead I made
choice.
it super buffy.
It's a Gryffindor ass move. I'm telling you.
That's
That
very
was a
true.
Gryffindor move.
Actually, quite the opposite. You swipe at it, but because you rolled a 14 and your own armor class is a 22, you realize you are taking a swipe at your own reflection, and not only is it your own reflection, but it is of yourself. And you're able to, it kind of ching goes off your shoulder blade.
Yes.
And you're able to dodge the attack. You know that it was not an entity that attacked you or some sort of illusion, like Valdric wasn't able to catch it with her true sight. It was literally just you, like you guys kind of just see Anya attacking herself for a minute, and then that mirror image flashes away as this sunblade comes out of nowhere.
Okay.
But as you guys do that, you all start to you kind of almost out of breath coming out of this tight squeeze from the roof lowering, and you can all kind of see each other's breathing. You can see the breaths coming out of your mouths. And you realize that these temperatures in here are very, very much unnaturally freezing.
It's so golden here. That's so good.
Is that a revenant?
We've done it. What does that mean now that we know this information?
Well, I think we need to take some holy water and
Oh, yeah.
fill the chalice. Something like that. Do we just do it in here? Do we go somewhere else?
Roll a wisdom check, Solara. It would be a disadvantage with your poison.
Oh, good. Okay.
Do we have anything that can rid us of the poison?
What's that? A 9? Okay, 9 plus. Okay. 9. I got 19.
Oh, not bad. So you're
Yeah.
trying to remember. You're like, do we do it here? You're trying to remember what Tommy Two Tails said about when to do, like when to like try to reveal the spirit. And you remember him talking on and on about like you got to finish the maze. You have to get to the end. And even through the pain of this poison that's kind of seeping through, you're able to just really like focus in and be like, oh, I remember like the way he said it just like stuck with me. and it's only like he's only going to reveal himself at the end of this maze, because he talked about times that he tried to do it at certain sections of the maze to see if he could kind of shortcut it. Didn't work.
You guys, we still have to finish the maze though.
Fucking great.
But
Of course
easy.
we do.
We got this.
Okay. Does Valdric have any College of Lore knowledge on revenants now that we know what it is?
I'll let you make a history check. It'll be a high DC. Because I'm inclined to say no, but I'm always going to give you a chance.
Is this a disadvantage? Can someone figure out what we're doing about this poison?
That's not where I was going with that. I was going to ask if I knew
Do you have a
anything.
healing spell? Would a healing spell work?
I think I have to use
Got a 13.
Yeah, you're
Would
not
I know
really-
anything?
You
'Cause
can
I found the
also
book on all the spirits.
you can also make a history check. I'm trying to debate whether I want to give you advantage. Because yeah, the book. Do you have the book with you? Did you save it?
No, all I took was the chalice.
Okay. I would say if you save that book, I would give you advantage, but it'll be a straight roll, and it'll kind of be you trying to remember the page about the Revenant.
Okay. You said history?
Mm-hmm.
16?
16. I'm glad you asked. You guys seen that TikTok with
Yeah.
the DM makes when someone rolls really high for a lore check and the DM's
Yes.
like,
I'm so glad you asked.
Yeah. What's his name? Jim Carrey. Okay, so with a 16, I'll give you decent amount of information. You're trying to remember as you're flipping through that book, you're reading about the spirits, you're like wondering why am I even looking at this book in the first place? But you read about the Revenant, and the Revenant is an undead entity, spirit, that takes on a corpse in the material world and it is bent on revenge. The Revenants have a hunger for revenge. Whoever their killer was, or multiple killers, whatever the case may be, they have a year from the time of death. They have a year to exact their revenge, and in doing so, they kill their killer to get revenge. And when they do, they kind of just crumble into dust and pass on to the afterlife. But in the meantime, they're kind of in this limbo undead phase. So that a Revenant looks very much like you did before you got your soul back. Very just like your body, but gray, dying, decaying, fleshy bits, hairs graying and falling out. So undead, bent for revenge. I'm trying to think what else I want to give you. They have the ability to kind of heal themselves, but not after taking fire or radiant damage. I'll give you that much.
How convenient.
Which,
For sure.
if Anya attacked what you guys think might be the Revenant, if that was the same entity that we're talking about, is that radiant damage from the Sunblade?
Yes, it is.
Sure is. Okay, so it cannot heal that damage if that is the case. So Calliope is kind of having this memory epiphany as you guys are standing in this freezing rectangular room.
I'm gonna relay it to everybody. Wasn't the arms that Anya attacked, weren't they tiefling arms?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'll relay all of what I know about Revenants to everybody and be like, are we assuming that Tibbet is the Revenant? And if so, who is he? Is he getting revenge on Phantasmo Hollow and everybody in it? Or
Yeah, that's my question.
like who actually hurt him and killed him at this point?
Or did the Revenant just take Tibbet's body, right? Because didn't you say that
Oh, he
it
just possesses
takes,
the body?
it just, does it possess a body or does it possess their body?
Let's see.
Yeah, maybe I misunderstood that.
It forms from the soul of a mortal who met a cruel and undeserving fate. So that soul, wherever that soul goes, a revenant kind of forms from it and can reanimate the corpse and knows everything that person used to know. So it's kind of like, if you're putting two and two together, if this is Tivit, it is Tivit, and his all his past life and everything, but it also, like, its soul is no longer with him, and it's a revenant that is kind of taking the place of his soul. So it's still Tivit, but an undead spirit of Tivit, if that's the case.
Okay. So it would be Tivit. Tivit died a really bad death, and then
he has to get revenge on whoever.
the
killed
revenant
him.
took over his body.
Yes, using his body as a vessel.
Okay.
I feel like we need to go back and talk to the other tiefling that sent us in here. Because he has to know something else about how whatever happened to Tivit.
Well, if we get see him, then we can just take care of Tivit, and then it won't be a problem.
That's true.
All right, so you guys are in this.
Dead end.
Yeah, it's a dead end room. No other openings except for the one you came in through. So you can continue on. As you guys are like seeing each other's breath and like realizing it's freezing, narrowing your search down in your books, discussing your information. You realize that the screaming has kind of faded a bit and is almost impossible to hear at this point. So it seems like you got farther away from it, and it must be coming from the opposite corridor where you guys were originally going to go around.
Okay, so we circle back, and then go straight. So we turned left, so we'll turn right instead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Valdrick, make a perception check at a disadvantage.
Nat 20. That sucks.
Oh, is Amber, are you talking to us? You're muted.
You're
if you
muted.
are. Still muted.
I'm pressing buttons.
There you go.
My head's
There.
I saw your mouth moving, but I didn't hear.
Yeah, I was gonna cast Lesser Restoration. I'm just gonna use 2 spell slots to clear our poisoning.
Okay. Perfect. So you kind of, before they move on, you put your hands, one on Calliope's shoulder, one on Valdrick's shoulder, and you just kind of like bring them in and do like a very motherly prayer. It's a very calming presence fills.
On me and Valdrick.
I'm sorry.
Well,
Yeah,
I
because
So it's like,
Calliope is not poisoned. It's Calliope. So maybe you just take Valdrick's hand, and you kind of just say this prayer.
Give it
And
a little squeeze.
a little love squeeze, and it does rid you
It's
of
really
the
nice of you, Solara. Thank you.
of the effect of the poisoning. Your greenish tint to your skin kind of goes away, and your color goes back to normal. You feel just this warm, almost just like waterfall wash through you as the iniquities of the poisoning goes away.
That's really great. That made me feel so much better.
Me
I've had a
too.
really hard time since I walked in here.
And Calliope, you get that sense too. So go ahead and just take your first roll.
Nat 20.
Valdrick, nat 20. Okay. You, with a nat 20, you remember this screaming hall, and it's just it just sounds, you remember it in the time that you went through the maze the last time. You didn't remember until this point. You're like, oh my gosh, I'm having this this flashback, this terrible flashback. It just sounds like screaming and gnashing of teeth, both men and women voices screaming and shouting, almost in pain. And you think about it, and you're like, with a nat 20, I'll tell you this much. You realize, okay, I do remember, like, I did have to go through this way to get to the end that I never ended up reaching anyways, but I know I had to go through this way, but I'm coming at it from a different angle. And then you realize, okay, we teleported through this teleport, so I think we skipped over a part of the main maze and then went backwards and started going back this way. So we should have continued going forward when we teleported. And you're like having this like mental conversation with yourself in your brain, but something's just telling you, okay, don't go through the Hall of Screams because we've already skipped that part by teleporting. We should go back the other way. And
Okay.
out of the teleportation room where you found the orbs and you went down that long hallway, you should have taken a left, you realize.
We're gonna go all the way back to the room that we first teleported into with the crazy orbs, and we gotta hang a left. Because I remember the screaming room. I think I got stuck in the screaming room, actually, when I was trying to get the fuck out of here the first time. We don't need to go to the screaming room. That's what made me not leave this place the way that I was supposed to. I never did find the exit. But I know, by process of elimination,
yeah,
we should have gone left.
the very vivid and distinct, unique screams brought back, like, just unlocked a memory. Just completely unlocked it that you were repressing. And you're like, oh my gosh. And you just have this, like, total brain moment. But all
Brain
of you,
blast everyone.
all of you see Valdrick like, okay, I know which way to go. It's this way, and so you're all like,
5 check.
All right, I'll lead the way back.
all right. You go yet again through the long optical illusion hall that the ceiling seems to lower. You crawl through on your belly. You're able to climb out through the other side, past the goop room, and where you would have taken the where you missed taking a left, you now take that hallway, and you follow it around a little bit. A couple more mirrors, a couple more bends, twists and turns. Torch sconces start flickering a little bit more aggressively, but still remain orange flames. And Solara, make a perception check for me. Is Amber frozen? It looks like her head.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Just this part of her frozen. It's so funny.
Oh no!
The way it completely dropped her. Egg. She's gonna be mad. Do we want to take another brief moment?
Oh, there she's
There
back.
she is.
She froze right as I was addressing her. Did you? What was the last time?
Oh, it's been like 2 minutes.
Oh my gosh. Okay. What did you last hear?
I forgot.
Valdrick had this like epiphany of like, oh, I
Yeah,
know which way
I
to
saw
go.
all that. Yeah.
Okay.
We went. Yeah, we were backtracking.
Okay, so you basically backtrack to the fork in the road. You take a left instead of a right. You go around the corner. I was just describing the hallway and the bends and the twists and the turns and the sconces, or the torch sconces and the mirrors. And then I asked you to make a dexterity saving throw, or a I'm sorry, what did I say? Perception.
23.
23. You notice as you're creeping along these halls, you notice another attempt at an attack from the mirrors. They're trying to trick you by holding off and then suddenly attacking at once. And so you see a fist coming out of the mirror again at you. It is this time Calliope's wizard-like fist. As it breaks the plane of the mirror, it turns into that long red tiefling hand again as it tries to take a swipe at you. But since you rolled so high on perception, make a dexterity saving throw to see if you can dodge out of the way.
See, that'll be 14.
All right, it just fails as not one but two hands come swiping at you. What is your armor class?
18.
Okay. One of them slaps you right across the face and kind of knocks you back as the other one reaches but puts you just out of reach and just barely misses. As you are one attack misses, one attack hits, and you're going to take 11 damage. 11 points of bludgeoning damage. So you guys see this. You see Valdrick's reflection kind of just walking along all of your reflections numerous times. All of a sudden, you see one of Valdrick's reflection just turn on its heel and just out of the mirror attack Solara, knocks her on her butt as the other arm misses, and then pull back into the window, and then reform into Valdrick's look of, oh my gosh, my friend. Just
I'm
like,
gonna do it. Maybe we should all start doing wiggly wobbly weird walks, you know what I'm saying? Maybe we should all be doing strange things, just so we know who the fuck is.
Less
What the fuck is what happening, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, yeah.
Oh, here's a good question. No, I don't want to do that. Never mind. Scratch that. Scratch that from the log.
all right, you guys get to an opening now where there is not one, not two, but three long, straight hallways in front of you. All kind of walled off and sectioned off like a bowling alley. And you're kind of looking down each one. They all look about the same, and they kind of just evaporate into the black mist. Which one do you go down? Left, middle, or right?
I mean, do I have any inkling which way the exit may be?
Make a history check.
17.
You know that two of them are immediate dead ends. If you go down, they're just long halls and are just time wasters. Really, there's nothing. You remember something's off about these hallways, but that part you blocked from your memory. The rest is, there is one right answer. You just can't remember if it's left, middle, or right.
Oh, God. Solara, I'm thinking of a number between 1 and 3, definitely not related to the situation that we're in right now.
Wait, can I send one orb down each hallway of my dancing lights?
Yeah. Make a, investigation.
We'll try this, and if it doesn't work, then we'll pick a number. $21.
Okay. You send 3 of your 4 dancing lights down each hall. And as you send each one, it kind of illuminates the halls as it goes. And with a 21, you see you're kind of standing back and trying to watch all 3. You see out of the walls, the windowed, mirrored walls, a few arms reach out and try to grab your lights as it goes. And it happens like 7 or 8 times on each hallway. But your rightmost light makes it all the way to the end, and it reveals a dead end. Your left and middle reach the end, and it illuminates a directional path to the left. So you're not sure if it's the left or the middle, but you're definitely sure it's not the right one, because you see the dead end. So it at least narrows it down a bit.
Yeah. I'll relay that and be like, so first off, arms came out and swiped at my lights. Second off, it is not the right one. However, I can't tell with the left or the middle. So,
Okay, this makes it even better. Solara, number 2.
I was
Like,
gonna
this with the
see if
number?
I could do investigation to see if I could investigate.
What do you?
Which
How
would
are,
Investigate, I'm trying to convince Solara to pick a number between 1 and 2.
yeah. How are you trying to
One.
investigate, Anya?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like
The vibe.
I
'Cause-
I just know, like, as a bounty hunter, I feel like there would be telltale signs of which one is like the correct one because there might be more like
My
foot
sniffing here.
traffic down that, like I might be able to see where there's like foot traffic or
Yeah.
Okay, I hear what you're saying.
are you
Make,
telling her
make
to
an,
pull a Gandalf and
make an
Moria?
investigation check.
Yeah.
I always want to
See if
hear
it
like how you're doing
smells
it
like alcohol.
because like Calliope's idea of the dancing lights makes sense to me, and this can make sense to me.
okay, well, I did not roll very well.
Oh,
So
great.
even with the +7, I only got a 10. So
Okay. You're trying to see, you're like, oh, maybe if I look at footprints, I can see which one is the dead end because I'll see footprints heading towards me. And whatever one is the correct one, there won't be any footprints heading towards me. But you're squinting, and these are pretty clean mirrors. They don't leave much tracks from previous spectators and circus goers. Behind. So the tieflings either keep this very clean or there's just some sort of magical property about it that, or maybe someone used prestidigitation to clean it all up. But
all right, it was worth the
prestidigitation.
try. My good rolls are going to run out of here soon, so
Yep. So you're not sure left or middle, but you know it's one of them.
Well,
So, Solara, have you been convinced to pick a number between 1 and 2?
I'm just picking one, and I don't want to hear anything if it's wrong.
You said 1?
Alright. You guys
Yeah.
think we should go down the middle path? Middle's feeling really good to me. What are the odds? Between 1 and 2. We're going down the middle.
Everyone follow down the middle?
I'm following
Yeah.
Anya.
Let's go.
Baldric is not leading.
yeah, I'll lead the way. I'll lead the way.
We're sticking together.
All right. You walk down the middle path of corridor of mirrors. Sorry, I'm like, give me a second.
I'm going to be going down being alert because Calliope said there were all the hands swiping. So I'm going to be like readied. There's
Okay.
the word. Readied.
Okay, you guys are readied as you're walking. The black mist is slowly dissipating, and you're able to reveal 5 feet, 10 feet at a time as you creep down this 5 foot wide hallway. Anya's kind of creeping at the ready. She's looking at each of her reflections to try to tell, if there's one that's fake. All of a sudden, she does spot one that's fake, and it like pump fakes, and then she kind of flinches a bit and goes to like swipe, but then it kind of like laughs and then goes back to her normal reflection. So if do with that as you will. But as you guys are walking, Valdric, something grabs your ankle. You feel a hand grab your ankle.
I yelp and look down while pulling my foot up.
Yeah, make a strength check.
Valdric is unfortunately not very strong. I got a 14.
That's okay because we just did a strength contest and I rolled lower than a 14. So you're able to pull your foot back from what looked like a another tiefling arm, but this time it was not the red one that's been shooting out and attacking you guys. It was let's say it was probably just like a jet black arm, and it kind of, as you kicked your leg out, it kind of whoosh, pulled back into the mirror and faded.
That one looked different and maybe worse.
I don't like that there's multiple attacking us.
As Calliope's saying that, one of the arms shoots out again and tries to cover your mouth. Calliope, make a dexterity saving throw.
We just need to keep walking. Walk with purpose, ladies.
Dexterity? Okay.
Actually, it's going to be it'll be another strength another strength saving throw. Sorry.
I would have preferred the dexterity.
Yeah, I know. Sorry.
I am not strong. Ooh, 16. Oh, thank the Lord, because I don't have a modifier for that.
Okay. Calliope's talking. She's saying, whatever. And you kind of put one arm up and throw that arm away that shot down that seems to be an orangish tint as you throw it back into the mirror, and it dissipates again as two more arms reach down and try to grab Solara by the armpits and pull her up towards one of the mirrors. Solara, I need you to make a strength saving throw.
I don't like any of this.
Okay. It's a 19.
19. So you get lifted up off your feet very briefly, only a couple inches, before you just make your arms like a pencil, and the arms that are grappling you slide off. They have this light bluish tint to them as you look up, and you kind of just are able to pull yourself away as the two arms slip back into the mirror, and a faint almost gotcha
Okay, we need to get out of here now.
in your ears.
I'm just gonna start walking faster down the hallway.
Yeah, we gotta like keep
Following
booking
on
it, right?
Let's go.
Yeah, you guys are starting to now like book it down
Scooby-Doo
this.
scramble.
You're kind of creeping and like ready to attack, and at this point, you're just like, all right, we're done. You make it down the hall, turn to the left. The arms, more arms reaching for you as you are running, but aren't able to get you. As you make it to the end of this hall, you turn to the left and you realize it is a dead end.
Frick, let's run back.
All right.
Let's go!
Hope
Now-
everyone did their cardio.
Aldrich's gonna swipe 7 for out of the air and just start swanging as she goes, like right above her, like a glow stick at a rave.
Okay. Everyone make a athletics check.
Teehee, my favorite.
God damn it. Not
My
mine.
favorite.
Anya puts on her running shoes, her Nikes.
21.
17.
12.
I also got a 12.
Can't
Okay.
say cardio day.
The
I am not made for this. I'm a wizard, okay?
the four of you say a few expletives as you see the dead end. You turn around. Anya's like starts booking it. Valdrick waving her sword around, and as she connects with each arm that reaches down for her, each arm turns into black mist and just dissipates. Doesn't seem to strike any sort of flesh or anything like that. Just kind of each one dissipates. As Calliope, you notice this, and you're like, oh, they're not actual like arms. They're like some sort of like mystical, magical mist or whatever. And as you're looking up, briefly distracted by this, you trip and fall. And Solara, you're very closely behind her, so that when she trips, you kind of trip and stumble over her, and you feel more arms starting to grapple the two of you. Make 2 more strength saving throws, each of you.
Give her the strength, Evo. Give her the strength for the
Ooh.
roll.
That's funny. I feel like that's a little bit late, but that's funny.
Okay, mine was a 14.
14, okay.
Uh-huh.
Both of them are higher than the rolls that I made. So, Calliope, you get up first. You shrug off all of these arms, kind of grappled around you. It seems like Anya and Valdrick don't notice that you guys are stuck. You're able to throw these off, spin around,
Aldrich's
and
yelling.
grab Solara, as Solara kicks off with her feet from the ground and uses the momentum. Calliope, you're able to pull her to safety, and the both of you regain your balance and sprint towards the exits and come back the way you came and are out. All 4 of you made it out.
Okay. Down the other hallway, I guess?
Down the other hallway it is then. And aren't
the
we
left.
so glad that we know? Can I go ahead and cast Fairy Fire down the hallway before we enter it?
Sure. Are you just trying to like reveal Or
Reveal, give a disadvantage to attack on anything in there, that kind of vibe.
yeah. All right, so you cast Fairy Fire. What color is your fire?
Violet. Pretty much all my spells are
Right.
violet.
A violet plume of fire shoots out from Valdrick's wrist as it goes down the length of the hallway, kind of illuminating the sides of it. You see more arms reach out and try to swipe at the fire, and you realize, oh shoot, arms are out. They're distracted. Maybe we can kind of follow in its foottails. So the four of you run down this
ladies.
this final hallway, and Anya, what's your armor class again?
22.
Okay, with a disadvantage, I rolled a 26 as two red arms this time come out and take a swipe at you. One of which misses, but the other one does make contact and slices across your neck, and you take 18 points of bludgeoning damage. As you all are sprinting down this hallway, you see all these arms shooting out from the mirrors, and for the first time in this hallway, you see red arms shoot out. And actually, as they hit you, they're not trying to grab like the other arms are. They're trying to hurt and possibly kill. As Anya gets smacked.
Are they still there? Can I take a swipe?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, I'm gonna take a swipe.
Okay, make an attack. I'll give you one attack.
Can I smack her on the butt and give her Bardic Inspo while she's doing this?
Yeah.
It's a
Cool.
D10 now.
Yes, it
1d10.
is.
Ooh, I'm actually going to use that right now. I'm gonna use it right now.
I feel so
Okay.
inspired.
It's a 21 to attack.
Okay, that will hit.
And it's undead, correct?
Evidence would show. Go ahead and roll
Okay.
damage.
Alright, that's 18 plus the extra damage to undead is a 1, so an 18.
Okay. Noted.
Okay.
Alright. So you take a swipe, and instead of this arm turning to black mist like the rest of them have, this one also already has a streaking line down it, and you notice it as the very arm that you swiped before, and you're able to make another chunk into it as your sunblade whips out and splits its forearm, and you hear another screech, and the arms shrivel back into the mirror. So there's a deer walking in my backyard. It's very distracting. And the rest of you, all four of you, end up making it to the end of the hall.
Aldrich stops yelling and swinging 7 for like a lasso when we hit the end of the hallway.
Okay.
And we
Alright.
take a left.
Yeah, now that you guys have made it out of there, you follow it around to the left. It's only got one way to go. It takes another U-turn, and then there's another split in the road, left or straight this time. You could continue
picking.
straight, or you could go left.
You know what? Actually, Valdrick is going to step forward, and I'm going to try to sniff out where the exit is. Because, okay, here's my reasoning. It's a fairground. It's got smells to it. I'm seeing if I can decipher which hallway the exit is down by giving a good hearty, like a real creep.
Okay.
That's what I want to do.
You don't have the keen smell ability,
I have
do you,
no
as a celestial?
investigation.
Okay.
I don't think so. I don't know what that is.
I think a tabaxi has keen smell.
That's incredible. I do not have that, but I wish.
Yeah.
Where's
Valdrick wishes nothing more. Yeah,
Yeah,
where's
Max?
Max? Come here, Max.
Yeah. So we'll say
Roll for a pin.
Yeah, I'll just make this a straight up roll. It'll be investigation.
I have no bonus to investigation. So just a 15.
Perfect. You kind of step forward. You're looking straight. You're looking left. You kind of just try to smell the smells of the popcorn and the various exotic meats that are cooked in the circus, and you don't get a sense of smell, like a specific smell from either of these hallways, other than just the mustiness of this, the musty dust bunny kind of smell from these hallways. But as you're sniffing down the straightaway hallway, you almost feel like a blockage in your throat as you try to inhale, and it doesn't smell bad. It doesn't smell like anything out of the ordinary. It just almost prevents you. Like your throat closes up for a second as you take a step forward and sniff.
That's super weird. Everything in here smells dusty, crusty, musty. But down that way, I feel like I can't breathe. It's like so bad. It's like the lack of anything. It's like gag. Not in a bad way, just in a preventative way. I don't know what that means.
What do the rest of you do about this information?
I mean, if it was I feel like that would be the way to go if I was a ghost trying to kill people.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Go towards the danger. That would be my choice, but also that's my personality trait, is I don't run from evil. So
Go
I would go towards it.
It seems like
you
evil.
could also just not go towards the danger.
Yeah, but
The
then we're gonna
danger
be
is
fucking
probably
stuck
where we
in
need
there.
to go. Honestly. My vote would be to go towards the rotate.
Yeah, I mean that's gonna be the quickest way to get out of here, right?
Gotta do what we've gotta do.
So you go straight.
It's Solara
Yeah.
in the saddest voice.
All right. You very timidly decide to keep going straight instead of take that left.
Anya's never timid.
Okay. Okay, Anya. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Don't decide what Anya's feeling.
Okay. Well, in certain moments I have to. Like in this moment, you're walking forward. You also start to smell that smell of mustiness, mothballs, kind of smell that Valdrick was talking about. And you kind of start to feel your throat clogging up. And you kind of clear your throat for a second and it's fine. You go away. But it feels like the air starts becoming thinner and thinner as you're walking through. And not only is the air becoming thinner, but the walls and the ceiling and the floor are starting to become thinner. And you find yourself turning sideways and starting to shimmy through, as you didn't see from the distance that this room got narrower and narrower as you would travel on. But that's exactly what's happening as it's pushing in against your armor. You can feel there's no longer that a little bit of comfortable space between your armor and your clothes underneath. It's just pure metal around you, or whatever type of armor. Or if you're wearing no armor, it's just the mirrored walls closing in on you, and you can see your reflections. Barely any space between you and your reflections. So if there is an attack that's about to happen, it puts you in a very precarious spot as your arms are either down, all the way down, or all the way up, depending on how you're shimmying through. Everyone make a Constitution saving throw.
Nat 20.
16.
Constitution? 11.
$18 from Clappy.
15.
15, okay. What is Solara? What's your Constitution modifier number?
+2.
Okay. So if this were a round of combat, you could survive 2 rounds before choking out and becoming unconscious. So you are that basically gives you about 12 seconds to deal with whatever's happening, because everyone else seems to be choking a bit but still able to breathe. It's almost like, you know, putting a straw in your mouth and being only able to breathe through that straw for a certain amount of time.
Asthma.
Asthma. Yep. And that straw is getting thinner and thinner until it's a coffee stirrer. But Solara, you seem to be affected by this in the worst way, and you have about, you can tell by your lung capacity, you have about 12 seconds of you being able to hold your breath before you pass out. And you realize this as whoever's in front reaches a dead end and has to be like, turn back.
Alright, just
Yeah,
gonna
we're pushing.
run the other way. Run the
Okay,
other
turn
way.
back, turn around, dead end.
I'm pushing my whole body like I'm falling sideways to get everybody moving quicker out this thin space.
All right, everyone's shimmying. It's going to be considered difficult terrain, which means you're moving at half speed to try to shimmy your way out. So that's going to take up some time. Solara, I need you to make a athletic check to see how fast you can shimmy while holding your breath before you pass out.
16.
Okay. Between the walls narrowing in and compressing against your chest, as well as the air just becoming so thin that you can't breathe, you start seeing tunnel vision, as if you're not already seeing tunnel vision from this optical illusion. You in and out of consciousness, you're falling, but with a 16 you're able to steel yourself for one last push and are able to push yourself out of this tight squeeze and run the remainder of the way, and you get out to where the air is thick and rich again with that mustiness that it is, but still full, and the halls are at a normal width as you fall to your knees just gasping for air, and the rest of you make it out.
Okay, so
That was close. Wrong way. That was definitely the wrong way.
wrong way. But you know, valiant effort. If I was a ghost, that's where I would hide. In my defense, that's where I would be.
So we go to the left. Well, now it's our right.
To the
Yep.
left, to the left, to the right.
All right,
to the
so
right.
you guys go down that remaining hallway, and it is a little bit after midnight. So for sake of time, this hallway has one way about it. It leads to a circular room, which leads to another hallway, which leads to another circular room. There's nothing really about these circular rooms that are crazy. None of them move. None of them. You're kind of taking in the reflections to make sure they're not sus. And none of them seem to be different in any way. But you eventually get to a triangular shaped room. And let's see. Charlotte, pick a number between 1 and 4.
1.
Okay. Solara. on
I thought it would be me because I was first.
You immediately, when you walk into this triangular shaped room, Solara, you immediately feel a sharp pain in your forearm. And you quick look down to see a scraping line just start forming and blood starting to trickle out.
And there's our writing.
Oh, what was that about writing, you guys?
And it seems to be
What was
writing it's carving words into your forearm that say, please help me find Diabris. And that's where we end our session tonight.
Deobrys.
Solara, that's gonna be the coolest scar ever.
Oh,
Deobrys.
I'm
Anya
gonna
should
heal
tell
that
us.
up. I'll have to heal that up.
What was that, Isabel? You want to show that with a flash?
Diamorin, Cabris, Deobrys. What does that mean? Is that
Of
what
course,
does it
your
mean?
boyfriends are here causing all sorts of trouble. We
That's
now
not
are
me.
ghost hunting because of your red flag boyfriends, of course.
Listen,
Gosh.
Who have they been killing?
Who haven't they been killing, honestly?
That's
truly.
okay.
I have to finish taking all of these notes down.
Write that down. Write that down.
Write that down. Write it down.
It is spelled Diabras, and you know that because it is etched straight into your wrist that way.
Solara, that's gonna be the coolest scar.
But you will take
Huge damage.
Yeah, you will take some slashing damage. I'm gonna roll that right now. It's gonna be only 5. Only 5. But you realize it is the end of this maze, and you see another head-shaped mouth for the exit that is shrouded. The exit is shrouded in black mist.
Can you say again what the message that appears no harm is?
Please help me find Diabrys.
There were more than enough mirrors for them to carve that into a mirror. It's just what's off.
Debated
Was
walking
that
around
necessary?
There's enough areas where you could carve that into, something else.
Yeah, Anya was gonna walk
Very
in phasmophobia style.
Yeah.
Where do I put this?
It's hunting. It's hunting. I had the music. I forgot the music box. I actually had a moment when I took it out where I was like, "What if this is bad? What if this does what the other music box does, and we're in a strange
Well,
throne?"
Luckily
I'm
it
gonna pull out
didn't.
the music box. Okay, roll initiative.
Yeah,
Oop.
it's on.
At least I can
Hunting?
fight back. See, I can fight back in this though. Like
Yeah, this is good.
Phasmophobia, I'm just running around. I'm just gotta outrun the goat and hide.
It's true. Anya
Just gotta
did
be
get,
silly goofy.
Anya got 2 good chunks out of whatever that was.
Yeah, I did 39 damage.
She did.
This episode is called Phantom Whack-A-Mole.
Yep.
Perfect.
That was good.
All
That
right.
was
Well,
excellent, you guys.
I really thought I would be number one because I was first in order
That
and
was so
Anya
funny.
alphabetical.
The duo of you being like 22 AC and then being like, wait. And then picking one because
Yep.
you're first in the order and then being like, wait,
Yep.
no.
But it worked out. No, that one worked out. The first time worked out. This one, not so much.
It's fine.
That was funny. You rolled an attack against yourself. I love
I'm
it.
trying. I'm trying.
What a fantastic session.
Now I know what Chris feels like. Does a 14 hit? Pfft, absolutely not.
Never
Not even close. I don't even have to duck that.
I'm yawning. I have a
Yeah, good thing I didn't pick Calliope. Calliope would have been down again. We would have been stuck in another
another blood
deal.
pack.
Yeah. It's okay, Calliope. It's okay.
It's okay.
It's
Calliope's
lost
on
cannon.
You're
She's the best at learning lieutenant for an hour for all of this shit.
fantastic, you guys.
This was
The
awesome.
latest session I think that we've ever had.
You say that every time.
You said that was the best session?
Yeah, I said it's the longest session, but it's also the best.
Oh.
They're always the best.
Yeah, this was a good one.
I
This
have
is
to
fun.
go. I have to be up by 5. So.
Oh.
Yeah.
Night night.
So bad.
Goodbye.